Welcome everybody to the West, a Dishonored RPG that we host on Wednesdays, generally at 7 o'clock now, as you can see, as we're hosting right now. My name is Spencer, I am the GM of this campaign. We have a bit of an inaccuracy on that screen, which I will correct when our stream has a break a little bit later. We have two new characters, well, the same players, but different characters, due to extenuating circumstances, aka they died. Both Levi and Josh are playing new characters. Josh is playing Lee Barrett, and Levi is playing Anton Blackburn? Josh Blackburn, who goes by Anton? It's confusing. I'm sure he'll explain it eventually.
Josh is playing Lee, and Levi's playing Josh.
Yes.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm glad I did.
If the result is my madness, congratulations, you've put me on another step. Alright, so, last session, unfortunately, or fortunately, I think, John Reed and Emil were executed. Well, John Reed wasn't. We'll hear a little bit more about that later, but you all managed to get passage to Sunline on board a Kenrick Private Enforcer airship. Arrived there in just a matter of about 2 days, very short time. And the last thing we left off with was you all seeing Sunline on the horizon, which, as the name suggests, is kind of lit up. The entire city, the coast is pretty much all white, sandy cliffs, so as such, the sun kind of radiates off of it. It's a very, very bright sight. Hopefully that's a symbol for hope. Hopefully not. It's not a symbol for your all's imminent doom due to burning or something like that. Yeah, both?
It's both at once.
But, first thing we'll open with is actually something Heisel would have picked up on. Heisel, you were listening to the Hastings device, correct?
I haven't really mentioned this yet, but that's something I do a lot of times, is I will just kind of fiddle around styles and Hastings device whenever she's not actively doing anything else.
Yep. And that's something that you can use for both void artifacts and
Hastings device, but it also functions as a little radio.
exactly. Could not have said it better. So, while tuning through those various styles, you would have picked up a lot of garbled stuff, nothing you could really tell out, but eventually you would hear something specifically. I hope the sound is right. I'm going to repeat this twice, because you would hear it said twice.
Harvest, ice, joust, joust, harvest, overseer, heal, ice, joust, light, timber, joust, Nancy, harvest.
And you hear it once more.
Nancy, upkeep, mystery, souvenir, upkeep, overseer, Piero, apricot, harvest, ice, joust, joust, harvest, overseer, heal, ice, joust, light, timber, joust, Nancy, harvest.
And that is about all you would pick up. The transmission would cease at that point. But there is one thing that you don't need to check to pass. Is that hearing that you would recognize that's the voice of Ren. I guess on a radio, but
She broadcasting everything.
I mean you would assume so. You just picked up on a broadcast that sounded like her, and it seems to be. What's that?
It's obviously some kind of code.
Maybe she just likes reading lists of certain things from time to time on the radio, live.
Is there any way I can decipher the code?
This is one of the things that I'm not sure how much I'll tell you. I might just let you all decipher it yourself. But I will say there is one thing that you know, pretty basic information. But you would know that when speaking on a radio, there's typically a fashion of enunciating words in a way that they're easy to understand, a phonetic alphabet, rather than just saying A, B, C, D, because so many of those rhymes, a la C and D and whatnot, there is a standard. I don't know if Heisel would know that standard off the top of her head. Has she communicated often via the radio?
Not often. She's had rarer experiences in which she has.
Mm-hmm. It's a hard thing to ask because you knew the inventor of the radio, or at least a...
Actually, yeah, Sybil Hastings definitely would have ranted about all that at
Okay.
some point or another if
All
she
right.
knew about it, which I'm sure she would have.
All right. Well, make a study check to remember everything that you could.
Yeah, I'm not the most technologically minded, so to be fair, two successes.
Okay. Well, then you evidently paid attention when Sybil Hastings was ranting about this. You paid attention to what she was saying, and so you know that in response to her invention of the radio, this standardized phonetic alphabet was actually implemented by the Empire back when it was still around, and it is known as the Imperial Radio Code. So I will, because Anton, you would not know about this. I don't think so, unless you can make a case. Lee, you would definitely know this. So I'm going to go ahead and send this radio code into the Discord chat. Fairly easy. You probably picked up on some of the words already. So, not exactly the most complex thing out there. Give me a second to pull that up. But I will say that there is no way that you, even if you have written down letters, it's not really possible to decipher this from a check, at least.
Sure.
I'll give you one. I might give you one check after I paste this, but I won't say what it's for. Ha ha ha. Okay, I'll go ahead and post this, I think, into references. Okay.
The fact that there's a repeated letter is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's maybe where I start.
All right. It is in the chat.
Perfect.
Just a basic phonetic guide to words used for pronouncing letters.
When did the radio get invented?
Gotta be honest, I have not decided that off the top of my head. Probably
Rough time frame.
Probably in the early 60s. 1860s, that is.
Cool stuff.
All right. So, is there anything you'd like to do after hearing that?
Well, I probably would have missed the first half the first time. Would have dove for whatever writing implement and notebook I have around and kind of scroll the rest of it down, and then
Mm-hmm. And
been
caught up.
very relieved when it repeated.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But other than that, I guess I will start puzzling through and figuring that out, and I'll let you know when I do.
Okay. I will allow you to make one check, difficulty of 3, related to deciphering this.
Well, unless I get a natural one, it's not going to be quite Oh, wait, no, it's a new session. I have more good things.
Right.
What?
Just wanted to read what you had written down. What?
2 successes. Well,
Oh, but that's a natural 1, too.
you know what? You know what? I will... sure, I'll use a voice point.
Okay.
I have 3 right now,
Okay.
so I'll re-roll that other one. Oh, wait, no, I can just count it as... Oh, no, you know, that's fine. It's a success anyway. So that is 3 successes.
Okay. All right. 3 successes. And I will say that you can't make a failure count as a critical success. So that was the only option to get 3 right there.
Okay.
Because your
Well,
14 was a failure, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So, spelling this out on your piece of paper, it's kind of apparent this isn't actual words. This is definitely some sort of cipher. You've heard about a lot of ciphers being used throughout the Isles. Typically, different organizations will develop their own cipher. So, this is definitely an encrypted text. You cannot immediately crack the cipher, but probably the most common cipher and possibly the most effective one for short messages is a keyword cipher. Basically one where in order to decipher it, you would have to have some sort of key. And it is pretty much impossible to guess what that key is. So that is unfortunately...
Meaning that it won't be something that we would be able to just figure out on our own?
Well, if you wanted to employ some mathematics and start to do some things probably in the off-session time, you could attempt to figure it out. I will go ahead and tell you that with modern technology, it is possible to decrypt them, and even with plenty of time. If you know what the right thing to do is. I'm not going to tell you what that is, though, because, I don't know, I think it's a little fun. Putting a little bit of mystery into things. You could just ask her, to be fair.
I'll keep it in mind for now.
This would have been while we were still in the airship, right?
That is correct, yes. And after that, Heisel, you would pick up on one other thing, something not so clandestine.
Today is a big day for using the Hastings device.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good morning to all you beautiful folks tuning into our lovely station. This is Broadwave with the news from across the world right here in our sunny studio in the heights of Sunline, which I might add is absolutely gorgeous today. And now for the news.
So positive.
After a dastardly destruction cultist attack that killed 36 people in Bryampton Port, Morley and constabulary forces arrested those behind the bombing mere minutes after the blasts. In a shocking trial, the bomb maker, one Hiram Bancroft, alias Emil, killed his own partner, Jared Valentine, alias John Reed, by collapsing the courtroom ceiling on him after shooting it. Jared Valentine was reported to have killed hundreds across Bristol, but his reign of terror has finally ended. Hiram Bancroft was hanged later that day. Back in the Isles, the Regency has resumed its offensive and broken organizer lines, charging once again for the south. Some sources state that they are as far south as Poolwick, the farthest location Blue Order troops have ever been. Yet another victim of the frequency killer has been found, a 46-year-old banker from Jessamine, his body discovered after his code had been cracked. To all those out there hoping to make a difference, if you have any information regarding this one's whereabouts, please report them to your nearest charter marshal. I, for one, hope that sick bastard gets what he deserves. I'm afraid the West is a little low on good news today, but I hope to bring some beams to your ears later. This is Broadwave for Frequency 70. Check it out.
Do I know how long it would take news from the Isles to get here?
That's a good question, or a good statement right there.
I'm just kind of curious how current this whole thing
Yeah, good question.
about the Empire is.
It is actually, because of how advanced radio technology is, nearly immediately. There are some very, very tall radio towers that are able to broadcast that far. So,
Thank you, Sybil Hastings.
yeah,
Awesome. Okay. Notes taken.
there you go. That's just a little news update. I'm thinking about sprinkling those in every once in a while, just because it's something you would be picking up on. And not just Heisel would be hearing about this. If you all are ever traveling in the streets of anywhere in the West, chances are there's probably a radio on somewhere. Probably broadcasting frequency 70, which is that channel that you just stumbled onto. That's a little bit of an introduction for tonight's session.
I have no problem with any of you being there for that, by the way. If
Oh,
any
okay.
of you guys want to do it.
Everybody gather around, it's time for Broadwave.
For both of them? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if any of you guys would have just been hanging out. that's
Man,
fine.
gee, if there wasn't some impressive inventor that was in our party that may or may not be able to crack a code.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Hey, he became a terrorist.
So,
He became a painter.
worse, a painter.
people can't decide if you became a terrorist or a painter, and I don't understand why. How do you mix those two up?
I mean,
Some could say terrorism is an art form for some.
That's
Alright,
Interesting.
oh yes.
I would like to, if possible, meet with Heisel probably before we get, and you guys might meet.
Okay. They're heading out? Like leaving the room?
Yes.
Okay, alright.
Exciting.
Bye-bye.
We will
Watch your
return to this
step.
post outside of the room.
Yep.
Not listening in, but keeping watch.
Keep each other accountable. Don't listen in.
Very, very quick, Josh. If you do want to listen in, I can have you make a check for it and actually physically place you
Yeah.
Okay.
in an area that may or may not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Use be sneaking.
yeah, if you are going to attempt to listen in.
I'm just gonna listen. I'm not gonna put like special effort into
Okay.
it. But if I hear something, you know,
Use eye sucking.
So, I'd say this is probably, trying to think of the style, cleverly or carefully, I would say.
I'll study carefully. That is one success and one critical failure.
A critical failure.
Yes.
Oh.
You're caught. Also, look at Levi.
But there was a success, so you hear, but then he's caught.
I wasn't going to give us like you wouldn't be able to hear anything with just one success. It's going to be a little hard because Seb would know to go to an area that's pretty quiet. So, we will go ahead and have that conversation. And Jacob, whenever you want to say, this is when he would look and hear something at the door or something like that, you can literally go to the door and catch Lee in the act if you would like to.
Please bear it. Yes, Robert.
To be fair, he did have a task of keeping an eye on you, so
She has a really nice tab, so
That's right.
Told him not to stay too close.
Yeah.
I'm not too close, in my opinion.
Alright. Okay. So Sam goes. Are you gonna go outside? So Sam goes to Heisel's room. I'm guessing Lee sees that and tries to follow. Door all the way shut. Okay. Alright. Okay, so he heads to Heisel's room.
Come on in.
Hey Heisel. Do you have the spike on? He closes the door. Right from it says that.
Yeah, give me a second. And I'm going to root around in the belongings I have again, like under my bed. And I would like to slip the thing out of my coat and into my belongings so it will look like I'm taking it out of the box where I am supposed to be keeping it.
Okay. Make a move quietly check.
I'm not good at those things. One success.
Okay. Are you like keeping a close eye on her while she's doing this, or are you?
He's probably watching because that's what he wants to do right now.
Yeah. What is your study score?
5.
Okay.
This is probably it's like Corey's very just like worth watching. So
Okay, it's a 5. I will say that barely checks out. That you do this stealthily.
Nice.
You pull it off. Yep.
So I'll take the spike out of the box I am definitely keeping it in. Did you need it for anything specific?
I just want to try some stuff. I unwind the greave cloth so that my mark's showing.
Alright, just be careful.
Will do. Alright, take it. So basically Sav is like, alright. Okay, so in my dream I had, this thing got mentioned. He's like tapping it. It got mentioned, so
Built
I'm
to help
thinking
all that?
it's built to help. So I'm wondering if it can somehow help me.
It's up to everyone. Honestly, not sure how much I believe it.
Well,
Hasn't
here
helped
we
me.
go. He stabs into his finger.
Into your finger? Are you like
Not like he's
on a table?
he's
Like
gonna prick his finger basically. On it.
Oh, I thought you meant like
I-
feel your hand.
I don't think it's sharp enough to do that. Actually, it is something that if you were, like, say, if you put your hand on a table or something like that, you could definitely like.
Okay.
It's kind of blunt. You could definitely stab someone with it with enough force, or stab something with it. But something as small as like just trying to prick is not possible with it.
Call it void. Void.
You could
It
probably
pulls out, like-
you could probably do a little bit of like an incision in your palm, maybe, or the back of your hand. But
He
like
goes
just a
and he
prick
goes
is not
to
gonna.
take his switchblade out. So
What are you
pricks
doing?
his finger
There you go.
and then puts the blood on the thing.
Oh, boy.
Yay, we're not a cultist group here.
No. All right. Wow.
What are you doing?
No. No.
Okay.
I ask you about
So you did just you pricked your finger and then touched it with the spike?
Yes. Basically.
Okay. Actually, as the blood touches the spike, you see all of the blood that just came out just turn black and dissolve like ash. It's very small, but
I look at my finger.
and the blood comes back because you just pricked yourself. So
That's odd.
So does something with blood.
Tap tap. So
every time you tap it, it dissolves it.
So it just
Yeah.
dissolves. And look at this. Is this like voidy? Like, is it just turning black, or is it like like
It's evaporating. It's
So
gone.
it's doing that thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Doing void. Blipping.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's void blipping thing. Blinking. There we go.
Not quite.
Okay.
You know blinking is like going a distance someplace else. You don't see any blood transposed to any other area of the room. It's just dissolving, pretty much.
It's consumed. Wonder what's happening if it's more blood than that.
Well, well, maybe we'll find out someday. All right. I
I just want to ask more about your unique condition.
I'm putting on the computer. Yeah.
You said you went to Alicia to track some people down. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's. Let me get this straight. You knew you had them.
Yes.
Were you ever able to use it?
I was
To use things? And then what was that?
It was back during the war, basically. I had it for a long time, but I had never really quite got it. But I was able to eventually figure out how it works. And to be honest, a little bit of what it was.
Never heard of life powers being confusing before.
Well, I knew what it was, but like it was like how it worked, I guess. I knew about obviously Corvo and like that. But I didn't quite, I don't even believe that it was it, because I had things that happened to me like that. But we were able to, I was able to figure out how it works.
It's so.
Now that you know.
And I use my, not insight, I'm sorry, intuition on that.
Yes, you can.
I want to know if he's telling telling the truth?
Roll a study check with that intuition focus.
Would it be study or talk?
Study. Oh shoot. Talk.
Okay.
Defending, I guess. So,
One success.
one success.
My success is also a 5.
Okay, I actually just read about this. So the person reacting, if it is a complete tie like that, the person reacting will fail. So it is the active player which wins in a situation like that.
Alright.
So you can decide. Again, it's that's so close. So you can decide what amount
Yeah.
she would pick up from that statement.
You get that he is telling the truth. But that's about it.
So when did it stop then?
You you remember when I told you about the music box?
The reason you hunted these people down?
Yes.
Dude, they took me permanently. Never heard of music box doing that.
It wasn't a normal one. It was weird.
So is this about revenge or is it about replaying with yours?
This is about both.
Do you mean somewhere your, for lack of a better word, targets are?
Kind of just, yeah. That's about it. I was doing some research.
Would you know them if you saw them?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Do you have names?
I do have. Yes. Let me just get to where they are.
Just write them down for me, will you?
Alex. So I basically write them down for her, but yeah. Yeah, they maybe went by, switched to aliases or things like that.
Sure.
But here's what I know, basically. If you could, actually, if you could check around subtly with
That's
any of
what I
them,
mean.
I don't really want them to know that I'm in Venice, you
Of
know?
course. You're going to be discreet about who it is.
Yes.
But I'd be interested in leading someone on my side who is able to use the void. And if that's something we could restore to you, I'd be interested.
Definitely be advantageous for both of us.
So good, then, as we're trying to free ourselves from this thing, and she's gonna poke the spike.
Yes.
Is there anything else said?
I don't
Is this when you want to catch,
I don't think so.
Mr. Barrett?
I'd go ahead and invite Levi in as well. This is not going to be a... Welcome back.
Sorry about that, guys.
We forgive you.
Sam walks over to the door. Opens it really fast.
It looks like... It doesn't look quite like... He isn't, like a 7-year-old pressing an ear to the door or anything like that, or looking through the peephole or like the lock or anything like that. He's just standing there, but standing at the door and maybe just a little bit leaning.
Hi, Lee. What are you doing? Standing in the hallway.
Keeping watch.
Go on. I walk by him. I'm going to Ren's room.
Okay. When you would walk in,
Yes, Miss Cohen.
Oh. Okay, so when you would walk into Ren's room, you would find a lot of her stuff arrayed. She had a couple of foot lockers with her stuff, and you would see a radio unpacked and placed on a table in her very small room. Right now, though, she is actually sitting on a chair, cross-legged, just reading something, a book.
Ah, Hello, Ren. I was wondering if you had a few moments I could borrow from your time. What book is she reading?
She is actually reading. It's not labeled on the front, but if you want to make a check to see what exactly she has open.
I hope to avoid cult book. We can have a book
Steady.
club.
Really? Alright, 2 successes.
Okay. You can catch it. It's actually with the 2 you would realize that it's not that there is no cover on the book, it's that it's extremely worn out. She is reading, which she's going to go ahead and... Oh, wait, did you ask her what she was reading, or is that...
No, I'm just...
Okay. You would see it is a history of the Morlian insurrection, which you would know is something that's different than the Morlian War of Independence, or the Insular Civil War, which is what's still going on right now.
Is that...
It's just it's a pretty old historical account.
Okay. Just a long time ago.
So she would close it. Ah, yes. Sebastian.
Hi.
Hello. Do you need something?
I had a few questions I would like to ask you.
Well, we've got time.
I look outside real quick. Close the door. It's about your little force, the Protectors.
Well, that's one way of putting it. Yes. What about them?
Well, they're ex-Imperial, basically, or current Imperial, I suppose.
That's the rub there. A lot of different protectors will say different things about that. I am of the opinion that we are still Imperial. But that's just me. Most will say we're just ashes from the Empire.
What do you think is what holds everyone together in your group?
Orders, which we'll get from time to time. But also the goals that we're pledged to. After the fall of the Empire, all protectors pledged to a somewhat vague creed of just helping citizens of the Isles, which is everybody. So, our primary goal was, of course, to protect the throne of the Empire, but that didn't really work out. So, here we are.
Yes.
There are protectors all around Pandysia, the Isles, who are just trying to punish those who do evil and help those that are good. It's pretty basic, but most protectors have pretty good moral judgment on what those issues are.
Well, I never got to fight the war. I was robbed of that chance. No one let me in the army.
Ah.
Not young enough. Well, not old enough. I am
19-year-old, not young enough. You gotta be in your tweens to join the army.
13, no, Mom. Joining the army's not a phase.
It's not phase, Mom. But
That was probably for the better.
the Empire was always my home. That's one reason why going to Pandysia isn't as hard as probably would be. So I have dreams and plans in Pandysia.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could one day come home to the Empire or a group that's keeping things together, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Well, good luck with that. The way things are looking now, it's probably not going to be good.
Perhaps. Little history lesson. There was, you may or may not know this, there was some people,
Mm-hmm.
basically, a little while back. They used to work for, I mean, kind of everyone, but they used to work for the Crystal government.
Mm-hmm.
Undercover, no to speak about, officially off the books.
Mm-hmm.
These traitors turned their back on the Empire and helped the insurrectors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently
The insurrectors? The Morlians?
Morlings, yes.
Huh.
Near the one. I have some personal beef. And so I was wondering if perhaps if I gave you the names, you'd be able to at least check with the superiors. If anything, it might be good to just keep them under it. They were very good at what they did. And being able to know that they exist, possibly be advantageous. And any information that you have about them.
Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the... I knew that the Empire hired privateers and mercenaries to sometimes do dirty work when we wouldn't be able to do something. Yeah, I can perhaps put feelers out. What exactly is your relation to them?
They caused me personal harm, and I would like to repay the favor.
Okay. That's vague, but I do the same, so fair enough. Sure, I'll look into it, but I'd probably need names.
We're here for this conversation, right?
Probably not.
No, he did say he looked out and made sure that no one
If
else
you
was
guys
around.
want to sneak up at some point,
Yeah.
you can do that. He basically, he's already got a list prepared. He rips off one and hands it to.
She takes it and does a precursory read over the names.
Anything familiar?
Yes, I know this last one on the list. Sheris 2? She's in Sunline.
Sure.
She's a... Yes, yeah.
Do you know what she's doing?
I'm fairly positive she runs a clinic in Sunline.
That sounds about right.
Right, there's a district of the city that's home to factory workers and some refugees. So, yeah, she runs a clinic there. Does good work from what I've heard. I feel like I've seen that Marchenko name before.
If you're able to information, you're able to reach us. Feel free. Heisel's got some off-brand radio, so you might be able to get it on there.
To be fair, her radio is the most on-brand radio there ever has been. Well, I mean, given that I'll be traveling with you all until you can get that spike business figured out. Might just be sticking around. We'll see.
Wow.
But what's your plan with Dr. 2?
Oh. Well, I was going to probably go talk with her.
Uh-huh. Just talk? Not kill her?
No, come on. She was, I'll say this, of them, she was definitely the nicest. So, we should be good.
Okay.
She was a little more naive, I suppose. So, not so much from her.
All right. Well, again, my sources say she's been doing good work, so please don't do anything to her. No matter what personal harm she's done to you.
You can count on that.
I certainly hope so. Is there anything else you'd like to ask about?
No, if you protectors need a hand, feel free to reach out. Might always be available. It's nice knowing that the Empire lives on in one way or another. Anyway, I go towards the door.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep in contact and we'll keep an eye on you.
Okie-do. I leave.
Okay. Are there any other conversations you all wanted to have on this airship before arriving in Sunline? All right, excellent. So, upon getting closer, you can see more of the city and less of the just dazzling light of the coast. And you would actually see that this is kind of a multi-leveled city. You can see kind of a port area just on the coast, and then you can see it's almost a city on a hill, I suppose, in that there is kind of a higher mountainous region of the city that has a plateau on the top that has a lot of very fancy-looking buildings at the top. You all can see to the north. You all are heading west, so that would be to your right if you're looking forward on the ship. You'd see plumes of smoke from some factories. But first area you see is this dock that looks a lot different than the one that you saw in Bryampton. No refugees crowded on the docks, and no walls either. It looks like the port goes directly into the city. You can see the port just kind of fades into open-air markets, 1 to 2 story buildings, long roads. It just kind of gradually changes into the city instead of bam, wall, bam, city. So, much more gradual change. You can see a couple of regular boats docked there, and you can also see another airship port with probably at least 10 airships docked. Some of them bigger than the one that you're currently on, but none smaller. So, you all land, and the airship crew pretty much takes care of all of that. They apply the moorings, and they lower the ramp, and you all are free to go if you want. A couple of the enforcers that are not Lee get off the ship and kind of, not duffel bags, it's like shoulder bags on their shoulder. You just see them head out into the city.
I probably should have asked Max in his apartment in this.
I thought about that. He would have given you a slip of paper on it that says 13 Dogood Way, Stone Row Apartments. Or I would say Stone Row Apartments. Did I say 13 Dogood Way? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Heights, Sunline. So, you have an address. He didn't just give you a key and say, okay, good luck. That'd be a jerk move.
Should probably find these heights then.
Well, you look up, and you see them. that is the hilly area. That's the plateau. I'm sorry, I shouldn't. You wouldn't necessarily know that. For all you know, the port area that you just got in was the Heights. But
Would I know where that is?
yes, yeah, you've been in Sunline before, so yeah, you would know where that is. Yeah.
And is that the rich part of the city, I'm assuming? Yeah, this guy must have a really nice apartment.
Yeah, you still his mansion.
Well, he lives in the rich part of town.
He has a finer taste.
Wouldn't spend as much.
I can show you there if you want.
Would be great.
It's kind of visible, but,
What's your plan, Anton, after this?
well, I didn't really have a specific plan. I was thinking maybe since you're here, I could just stick around with you guys for a while. I don't have anything else I'm doing.
Fine with me.
I don't suppose you'd mind if I, stayed with you guys too. I mean, it's gonna be a pretty nice apartment, I can already tell.
Sure, just, well, this kind of goes for all of you, but respect Mr. Kenrick's property, alright?
He has a name.
Sam
It's
is
Lee.
like 10 feet away. This is my kind of city!
You got a couple strange looks. These are delicious.
Pumpkin seeds.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell him later.
A couple of strange looks. But
Remember, any damage his property reflects on me.
Agreed. We.
Yes.
Wouldn't it kind of reflect on all of us too?
You're not employed by Kenrick.
I'm his friend.
She's not employed, but he's probably paid you before for some...
He's definitely paid me before.
Oh. You're not on the
I'm
payroll,
pro
though.
bono because of
My
all the
livelihood
help
depends
you
on
gave
him.
me.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. So, are you all making your way to the Heights initially?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we can wrangle Sam.
Yeah, probably. If you can wrangle Sam. He's pretty much. I think, yeah, he probably did come back.
What even about you?
Can you believe it? There's no walls. There's no guards. Like, this is great.
Sebastian,
Yeah?
stay close. Stay out of trouble.
I don't know who told you
You
there
would
weren't
find
any
that those two
guards.
things cannot be.
You never know who's gonna bust you for something.
I don't think they can.
That's the kind of city it is.
Actually, Sab, as soon as you say that, you see someone walk past you in a white uniform. Just, there are guards here, sir. And just walk, continue walking.
You see that?
That answers
Out
your
of
question.
sight, out of mind. That's what. Listen.
But you
Nice to
saw
see.
him.
Get your eyes checked and come with us.
Listen. He eventually, I saw him. It's just nicer. No refugees on the docks, not being allowed to get in. I'm just saying. Come on, guys.
I'm gonna agree with Mr. Barrett on this one. Just stay out of trouble, right?
Mm.
Especially in Mr. Garrett's appointment.
Mm.
Seb?
Yeah.
Sebastian, look at me.
Yes.
You're going to agree with me. You won't cause any trouble in Mr. Garrett's appointment, right?
Listen, I don't know about you guys. I personally have to stay on Mr. Kennett's good side.
What's that?
He won't play talk. Sneak attack, the dog that tried to kill me. That's mine now. I just have to figure out how to buy it from him. I walk off towards the Heights.
As you are doing that, you see this man in a raggedy black suit with a red tie. He's got a ponytail in his hair, and he's, "You, sir, look like you are a man of vigor. I heard your voice maybe a mile away, but it could be louder."
Well, you got a lot of practice when you're around people who can't hear anything.
Mm-hmm. People who can't hear anything? Well, let me tell you, sir. I have something that will help you hear other people even better. Have a louder voice. Jump higher. Run
Let's
faster.
move along.
I'm just trying to sell a man a product that would really help his life. It produces passion for life and zeal.
We appreciate it, but he's all set.
Is it an object or a substance?
Let the man speak for
It's an
himself.
object or a subject.
It is a particulate potion.
Ah,
And he produces this strangely shaped bottle from his coat.
Are there free samples?
Uh,
How do we know if it works if we can't test it
you
out?
take my word. I am a doctor after all.
What if I don't believe you?
Doctor of my foot, leave.
That's actually a doctorate in philosophy. Come on. Natural philosophy. I studied at the National Philosophy Institute of Dunwall.
So a free sample will just prove that it works?
Intuition check.
Okay, make an intuition check.
2 successes and one of them's a natural 1.
There is no Natural Philosophy Institute of Dunwall. You add momentum. You got that.
Nice. How much momentum? Just 1?
Just one. Yeah.
Okay.
No, 2. Darn it. 2. You rolled a critical
Not
success.
hard.
This man is a sketchy man.
He is. He is selling snake oil.
You went to the Natural Philosophy Institute in Dublin.
Of
Tell me
course
about
I did.
it.
Was classmates with old Anton Jindosh.
Tell me about them.
so cool.
Oh, he was a brilliant man. Oh, man, the things he developed. A bit before my time, he was kind of old. I don't know why he was still there. Brilliant. His beard smelled very strange. Could have used some of my product.
Was that when he got married to that one? What was her name? I can't remember. It was that.
No, he was a bachelor for life.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Oh, no, I heard about
would
it.
I
we know
remember.
about
Yes, because he was an honorable.
the lack of that university at Dunwall since he was
Yes,
there?
you would know that. 100%. No check for that. You know that.
Yeah, we knows that.
Who were the
French
professors?
security, correct?
Oh, the professor. There were Bainbridge and Wayne Sidge and
Fascinating.
yes, they were cousins.
Wow, and they're like names rhymed.
Listen. Yes, we mocked them mercilessly for it. Listen, just take a whiff of this. Just smell this and think.
What if we
Listen,
took a little
sir.
bit of it internally?
What's that?
Like a free sample?
What?
He's not gonna give up on the free sample thing.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't work.
Well, you know what, sir? You look like you could use some vigor in your life.
Sir, I spent a
That's what I
number
was
of years in Dunwall a short time ago, and I can assure you there is no University of Natural Philosophy.
Did you attend it?
I lived there. I know that no such thing exists in the city.
But how long?
How do I know you lived there?
New university.
How do we know your thing works if we don't have free samples?
This is true.
Trust
Make
me,
a
no reputable-
make a talk check, Anton.
Can I help Anton?
Yeah. If you say anything.
Yeah. This is true. Like, come on, you gotta
Can I
get.
use boldly?
Yes. This is you're speaking pretty boldly.
Listen,
Two
the man's
successes.
speaking.
You know what? You are a smart man, a logical man. It only makes sense that you would require a sample of this delightful concoction. So, he just gives you the bottle that he was peddling. Take a swig, go ahead.
How big is
Just
swig?
go with the berries.
Whatever you want.
I'll drink the whole thing.
Okay.
If
Well,
you want-
wait, as you are drinking that, he's going to try and stop you. Not physically, just with words. Are you going to keep drinking it?
As soon as he starts to stop me, I'm gonna like stop and be like, what?
Just take a little sip. That's probably too
Just have
much.
As much as I want.
Do you want all of it?
You can't blame him
Maybe.
for being vigorous.
He's
All right,
taking
take
advantage
a
of
sip.
his sample.
Already now, I guess.
You're taking the whole thing?
I guess.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Make a survive check.
Oh yes.
Oh no!
It tastes like cherries mixed with grapes mixed with something much stronger than that. Probably some alcohol in there as well.
Well, I'm not the one becoming intoxicated now.
Am I drunk from it?
You're not drunk, actually. What did you roll?
2 failures.
2 failures.
I'm looking at
Okay.
art.
You don't feel anything immediately.
Oh no.
Was that just some kind of sangria?
What?
Never mind.
What is a sangria?
Never mind.
Well, would you be interested in perhaps another?
I don't feel anything yet.
Well, we appreciate it, of course, and we'll keep you.
Well, you can let me know how long that lasts, and I'm certain it will kick in. And you can find me back here at Fort Keir, and you can buy some more if you would like. I am certain that you will enjoy it.
He didn't pay for that, though.
That's right, it was a free sample.
Yes.
He'll
What if
pay
another
for the
person
next one.
comes and wants a free sample?
What's that?
Someone who looks like me.
Anton, come on.
You know, sir, you are a very vigorous person and a very unique one, so I think I'd be able to identify you. I am a doctor after all,
No, you're not.
and you're not vigorous for now, but if you drink more of this product, you will be.
We better be heading out. We appreciate it.
Oh, good day. Could I interest in any of you? Okay. Well, have a good day. Please come back here to Fort Keir. I am walking the streets
I
constantly.
am starting to walk away.
Yes.
And could I interest you in some lip balm? And you just keep going.
Anton, you feeling alright?
I don't feel anything. Must not have been very good.
Is
Bigger
this like
potion.
That
Void fiend,
looked
it's not
so
anything?
disgusting.
Or
I
is
can't
this-
believe you drank it.
It didn't taste like bad, just tasted like, you know, when you're a kid and you go to McDonald's and you get a shot of everything in the soda machine.
yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
Swamp water.
Tasted like someone.
We
you know,
called them
been a bartender, tried to
suicides.
make a cocktail, but they couldn't decide which one they wanted.
So every drink I've ever made.
Well, that's a concerning statement, but yeah, it hasn't done much for me yet.
All right, so you all are heading up to the heights?
Yeah.
Okay, so going that way, you can see there are kind of trails actually up the mountainside. No houses on it because it's pretty much a mountain. But as you're approaching it, Anton, you would know about this. This is where you were guiding people. But to get on and off the mountain, and there's also another district that's kind of lower down in a canyon across the side of Sunline. To go across those different areas, they're cable cars, kind of aerial tramways, basically, that will take you up and then down and to the different districts. They are the supports, the cables that they're actually on are just normal steel, but the cars themselves they've been here for a little bit, but they are painted over to look gold. Actually going in them, there would be one arriving probably in they probably go up and down every 30 minutes or so. So you would catch one going up, step into the tram. It's fairly spacious. It's actually about the size of this whole room right here. It's big. You could probably fit a whole car in here if you wanted. But you can see a couple of other Sunliners actually in the tram as well. And you can see an attendant with a lever and a kind of controller's panel actually controlling the thing. And so you all make your way up to the heights on this tramway. It departs with a ding and will arrive with a ding when the doors are open again, when it's actually safe to walk, and you would not fall several hundred feet to the ground and your death. But the heights is, as you remembered, Anton, the wealthier part of Sunline. And this might be something pretty new for some of you, but some of the buildings are 7 to 9 stories tall. Some of the tallest buildings some of you have ever seen. Even those of you that have seen Dunwall have never seen something built of this much. You might have seen some of those in Alba, but not really as tall as these ones here. There are still, those are kind of the rarities, those extremely tall ones. Most buildings are 4 to 5 stories tall. And there aren't any wide roads really for vehicles to travel or horses or anything. It looks like actually walking in between these buildings that there are stone paths and gardens and areas just for people to walk through, and people are just walking across. You can see various stores and banks and apartment complexes, but it is a busy area, and so I'm going to have you make a study check to see if you can find this place immediately.
Who gets to make it? Anyone?
Anyone can, actually.
I will help whoever it is since I have the address.
Natural 20. And the fail.
That's a complication. It's this way, guys. Goes off the cliff.
Anton's like, I've been here before.
That reflection did more to him than he thought.
You walk up the stairs and then you jump off and then you just end up wherever you wanted to be. As long as that's dead.
There you go. Can you take me to dead? Oh yeah, follow me.
And then you just, whoop. Oh, I guess it's that
Pretty much. What'd you guys roll?
2 failures.
What is it supposed to be?
What's that?
What is it supposed to be?
Study.
Nice.
2 successes.
Okay.
A 19 and a 20.
Okay. You all look like obnoxious tourists from Montana in New York City. No offense to any of our viewers from Montana, but it is, you all are trying to find a place to go, and all of you are taking turns trying to guide. Starts with Anton, because he's been here before, and he's just like, okay guys, let's go this way, and it's obviously not that way, and eventually Sab will say, no guys, it's this way. Heisel attempts, and and finally Lee would just say, I think we passed it already, and point you all back to some place that you probably circled around at least 2 times, but just did not see. While on your way over there, you all would hear this pitter-patter on the stonework as sounds like someone's running, and you would hear, Lady Ogre! Lady Ogre!
I turn around and I throw my arms out. Is it?
It is indeed. You would all see this tall, lanky, it's a Tivian male, with this massive hair on his head that looks like he's tried to comb it, but just could not tame it. It's a wild animal. He's wearing this huge coat. It's probably like, it's just about the end of the summer right now. So I don't know why he would be wearing a coat that big. It's huge, way too big for him. It's pretty hot. It's like high 70s. It's the evening. But
Is he running towards Heisel?
that's correct.
Lee steps in the way and grabs him.
Oh, wait. Sorry, good sir.
Mr. Barrett, this is a friend of mine.
He
Please
pats him-
do-
He starts patting him.
Oh, okay. Friendly treatment. Okay.
Can I study for weapons?
Yes, you can.
Mikael and I go way back.
I'm studying carefully.
Mr. Barrett.
I am Mikhail Zavelian.
Success.
What's that?
In success.
He has a knife on his belt, but it looks like more of like just a utility knife, kind of.
I'm gonna kind of like walk past and kind of like not shove. But
Oh, you have a
nudge,
bodyguard now? That's new.
Maxim Canrick.
Uh-huh.
You know who he is.
Oh, yes, that's true. Well, I mean, you can have the knife, but I would like it back.
Lee takes the knife.
Okay.
Holds it in his hand.
Lady Ogre, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, Mikael. And I'm gonna kind of like just hug him.
Okay, and he hugs back.
How have you been?
Oh, I've been excellent. Oh, I didn't know you'd be here so soon. This is amazing.
Maxim Canrick took good care of us. Put us on a bit of an airship. Actually, it was.
In the airship.
Yeah.
I wish I had that. I came over on the boat.
We came over on a boat most of the way too.
Oh, okay. How did that go?
Well, there's sort of a reason why I have a bodyguard.
Did somebody try to kill you?
Well, not me specifically.
Oh, okay.
It's a bit of a long story. We got attacked by pirates,
Oh no.
and that was fun because Sebastian was there.
Oh, good. Hello, I am Mikhail.
Hello. Hello. My name is Sebastian Grellaus. Nice to meet you.
What are you?
Are you mimicking me?
No.
I don't know what that was.
Give Sebastian.
That sounded more like it was Sir Conan than Tivian.
Ignore the
Maybe
boy.
work on that. Maybe one day you can be fine actor. Today is not the day, though.
Pirates. And then, two of the other people in our. Did you listen to the radio by any chance?
Oh, yes, of course.
Did you hear about the thing in Brampton?
You were there for that?
Yeah,
Uh,
very close to that. It was a whole ordeal. But we're fine now. Mr. Kenner assigned Mr. Barrett to me.
At this point, I start walking off towards the house.
Okay. All right.
And I kind of look over my shoulder and see he's leaving. No, and Sebastian, he's pretty capable.
Oh, excellent. Do you all have a place to stay here?
We're staying in Mr. Kenrick's apartment here.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Yes, I live down in,
Where have you been staying?
well, I actually have my own apartment. It's not here in the Heights. I just like here for the view.
It's somewhere nice, I hope.
Oh, it's not bad. It's Sevian's Watch, just down the mountain over there.
Have you been safe?
Yes, I have. Sunline is a good place to live. Not quite like my time in Morley, but still pretty good. Definitely beats Calton, that's for sure.
Probably not heard.
What's that?
Probably not heard.
Right. But wait, do you listen to the radio? Frequency 70?
Yeah.
I have been on that radio show.
You did
Yes.
so.
Well, yes, I wrote a story and they read it on the show.
What story was it?
It was, I've been writing a series of serials that have appeared on them.
Mikhail,
Yes.
you've got to send me something.
Oh, Lady Ocker, I would not. No, I wouldn't. No, they are rubbish. No.
I would love to read them.
Make a persuasion check.
It would be my genuine pleasure. So let's see. Is that, talk.
Yep.
Cleverly persuade. One success.
Okay, fine. I'll send something. Who are you?
I'm Anton.
Hello, Anton. Nice to meet you.
I think you were corresponding with him real brief.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, you're the painter, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I think I remember some appointments with Heusel. Right? Yes. Yeah.
A few back in the US, and then some here, or one here.
Well, hey, if you haven't had anyone say this yet, welcome to Pandysia!
I appreciate it. No one's given us such a warm welcome before.
Well, it sounds like the pirates didn't do that. Oh well.
Not much of a welcoming committee.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta show us your place at some point. Come on in.
Oh, no. It is modest
I want to
home.
see where you've been staying.
Okay, but can I see where you are staying?
Come on.
Okay.
And I can like wrap an arm around his back and like just start dragging him off.
Sab, you're going into the apartment first.
You said have the key though.
Wait.
That's correct.
I do not have the key.
So,
Once I'm on
the apartment building is
Uh-oh.
it's about 5 stories tall. It's pretty big. You would see on the front of basically a marquee that just says Stone Row Apartments in a very fancy looking font. We walk in. There's no attendant or anything, but you do see on the ground floor. You would see straight in front of you this gate with nothing in it. Just nothing behind it, just a dark area behind it. And you would see a lock in front of it.
I look at the wall surrounding it, judging it.
Oh,
Can I climb it?
You can't climb the gate because there is no opening space between. It literally is like a gate as a doorway, so there's no way to really climb it. You could try and just force the gate open if you wanted.
Cat puts his hand on, he's looking at it, he looks down.
There is a button behind the grate, though. Well, it's behind the
Oh,
gate.
behind the
So
gate. Okay.
to get it, the holes in the grate of the gate
Okay.
are really tight, so it's not really possible to reach a hand in through it.
Okay.
Wow.
No.
Okay. Looks back at where everyone is. I can wait. I look at the city. Or we get started early.
Honestly, I don't think their conversation took that long from the time that you left, so they'd
Right.
probably catch up
Yeah.
as you're staring at this
He just waits there.
empty.
Sebastian, you know you don't have the key.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think there's a button though. But if I get my sword in here somehow. Okay.
Remember what you said about not causing any trouble on Mr. Kennedy's property?
Alright, but in case we need to get it without a key.
No,
If we lose the key,
we're not gonna lose the key.
if a dog eats the key,
There's no, don't do the key.
it's disappointing.
Sebastian.
Are you gonna use the key? Because we're all just out here.
Sebastian,
Yeah?
behave yourself.
Go for it.
Stay on Mr. Kendrick's good side. And you won't have any problems.
I'll put in the key.
So you put the key into the lock, and as soon as you put it in, you hear a series of clicking noises from inside of the gate, and you would see it open. And that button has a light behind it, and it is lit up. But nothing happens. The gate just opens. Just kind of.
You can go in.
It's an. As soon as you look at that first step, there is nothing. It's a small, square, rectangular area. It's very dark. There are no lights in it.
Are we supposed to just,
And I'll step on.
is there anywhere to go from here?
Stepping in, you would see a lot of mechanisms within the darkened area, but nothing. It doesn't look like you're supposed to be in here right now.
Bit of an interruption. Oh, all right. I'll step back out. What am I supposed to do with this? Do I know?
I mean,
Do I press the button?
yes.
I press the button. I've never
You would
seen
hear a
this
series of. Oh, you've never seen an elevator before?
before. I mean, I don't think so. How common are they?
There are probably a few in Alba. A few. So some very nice buildings may or may not have elevators. But yes, as soon as you hit the button, you would hear a series of chains and mechanisms. lower this sort of platform down, and you would see it's not like an elevator in that in our day where it's just an enclosed room. It almost looks like a basket, kind of. It's a firm basket made of metal, but with gilded, and it's got this red carpet on the bottom of it. But you also see a sign that says max occupancy 4 people. There are 5 of you.
That sounds like a suggestion.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll call it done when you're done.
Lee is staying back with Heisel.
But don't you have the key?
All right, I'll go first.
That might be better.
Who's gonna stay behind then?
The boy can. Well, no. The painter can.
I can stay
Mr.
behind.
Blanford.
fine.
Yes.
Okay.
You're staying back?
I could. I mean,
Not by yourself.
I'll just stay back.
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank
You have a
you.
bit of a thing against Sebastian.
Not against him personally, just against him intellectually and mentally and in all other mature capabilities.
It seems pretty personal.
that's not personal.
In that sense, I suppose it is.
In that sense, it probably is.
Just play nice while we're traveling, alright?
I'll do my best as long as he tries not to break anything or cause any trouble or kill
Well, we already
anyone.
addressed that,
Yes.
right? You're gonna be fine?
Yep.
And you're gonna be fine?
Yes.
Alright. Then we're all fine.
They were not fine. No.
Sounds about right.
So is it?
Barrett, make
Alright, Sebastian, if you wish, you may stay down here with the painter.
Sure.
I mean, you would fit.
Okay, I'll go.
I will say there is one small thing I forgot to mention, that there is a hallway to the right that probably leads to a flight of stairs.
Oh. Well, I'm on the elevator at this point, so.
Okay.
I guess I'm taking stairs.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you that earlier. I kind of forgot about fire codes and the fact that most buildings have stairs.
I'm gonna
Did
stop
they-
and
Did
watch
they have
them
fire
go up.
codes?
Not really. I mean, that didn't really happen until the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire. But hey, there is none here in Dishonored. So,
So we're gonna get on the elevator. Those of us who are gonna get
yeah,
on the
there's
elevator
probably still a flight of stairs.
and press the
Maybe not fire code.
button or do whatever the thing is to get it to go up.
Yeah, actually, as soon as you walk onto the platform, all 4 of you, after waiting just a couple seconds, probably looking around for another thing to press, the gate itself will close, and the elevator itself starts moving upwards.
This is pretty cool.
You all are headed to the 4th floor. So, wait, who was left? The painter or the child?
Oh, I wasn't leaving him alone because it seemed like a bad idea.
Alright,
Barrett
so I'm
thinks it's a
done
bad
there with the
idea.
painter.
Well, I mean, he did say, I'm just going to press this button with my sword.
That's true.
Which is like, maybe you don't know how to act in rich people's houses. Oh, I can't reach, I'll just stab it.
Alright.
Maybe it's a good thing that Anton is down there.
Is Heisel watching as like, or can I see them?
Oh yeah, it's
going
a,
up?
there's holes in the grate, so.
Okay.
Lee is watching.
So Lee is watching me. Is Heisel watching?
Heisel is looking around at like the mechanisms and kind of down at you guys. Every once
Okay.
in a while glancing, but not
So
like.
Sav looks up at Lee and kind of like has his fist and just kind of like does like just taps his hand and just kind of looks over him and is just kind of smiling.
Lee taps his knife that he's got at his waist.
And I like tap my my sword that I have in my waist.
Heisel looks like
Are you fine? We're
And I'm
fine.
like, oh, I'm gonna check my sword because Heisel's looking at. Huh?
Lee,
Yep, it's
Lee looks
there.
at, Lee looks at his rifle, starts looking at the breach and everything, just checking it out.
Sav takes off up the stairs as fast as possible.
Oh, yes,
Runs
Mr. Barrett.
to the top.
Yes.
Tom's
Did you
gonna
return Nicole's
follow.
knife to him?
Oh yes, of course. Oh, is what happened to Ren?
Great question. She actually peeled off when you all started heading towards the heights.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, well,
Secret's
all
right
right,
at the end.
all right.
Thank you. By the way, Josh, do you like the history of firearms?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the reference for your rifle would probably be a Spencer rifle.
Okay.
something like that. A bit more fancy and a bit Dishonored-fied. So
That's your DM insert
That's
character.
I'm a gun. That's such a me move, but no, there's an actual gun called the Spencer rifle.
All right, wait. What? I forget what kind of fire mechanism it uses.
It's a transition rifle, so it's kind of in between. It does take an actual rifled bullet and has a rifle barrel. Has a breech, but it's also sort of lever action. When you fire it, you pull the lever back, open the breech, put a bullet in, close breech, hammer back, or this
Just like
lever back.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's like a single shot lever action kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Wasn't.
Okay, sorry for that specific gun break, but you all are heading to the 4th floor. Mikhail takes his knife back, puts it back into a sheath on his belt, and eventually you all arrive. The gate itself opens, and you see just a very, very short hallway and a door with a lock on it.
I'm gonna put in the key.
Okay. You unlock the door and open it. And pretty much as soon as you open it, this is a pretty expansive area, and judging by the fact that as soon as you got to the 4th floor, there was a door right there, the entire floor is part of this apartment. You can see sunbeams pouring into the building. There's a lot of windows on the sides of the building, so a lot of natural light actually in this apartment right now. Kind of gives it this kind of hazy golden look to it. You can see wide variety of furniture, love seats, not futons. No, that's not fancy. Ottomans. Oh my word! Why are there so many ottomans?
Chaise lounges.
Yes, there are chaise lounge.
Because
Yes,
of the Ottoman invasion.
there you go. Yeah, you gotta at least have one chaise lounge for those psychiatrist meetings. Inevitably,
Tell me about how you feel.
it all started with my parents.
That makes so much sense.
I will go ahead and tell you all there is one master bedroom with a king-sized bed in it. There are 2 guest rooms with queen-sized beds, and there is one sort of servants' quarters that is like kind of an attachment to this kitchen laundry area. It's just a Murphy bed, you know, the ones that come out of the wall.
That's fun.
Yep. But I mean, the king and queen size beds, you could possibly fit 2 people on those. So that'll be up for you all to decide if you all are indeed staying here
I
tonight.
call the servant's bed. Kieran's off in the kitchen.
Okay. You have actually, Sab, you have never seen a bed like this before. It's in the wall. It's so weird. You can when you're doing stuff around the kitchen and laundry area, you can just put it up.
It's like it doesn't even. He's like yelling this. It's like it doesn't even exist. I can't even tell where it is. You hear him frantically writing down the schematics of this, and it's like
The schematics of a Murphy bed.
it's like I don't have a bed. You're gonna, but it is.
Sebastian.
It's
I'm gonna kind of
gentle.
speed walk in there and go check it out, make sure he's not damaging anything.
And he's being careful, but he's also excited. So
You would see in the kitchen, actually,
check. Does he need to roll a check for that? Make sure he doesn't break it.
that's a good question. Are you
I mean, he's
He
not.
said he was being careful.
he's
Okay,
being-
are you
he's-
actually
he's
being
not-
careful?
He's
Okay,
not,
no
he's
check.
not being.
You're good. Yeah, it's not fragile. It's well built.
Let's go for the servants. So it's fine.
So you would see, kind of attached to the kitchen, there's a small dining area that has a bucket in it and a bottle of champagne sticking out of the bucket. If you would see it, there would actually just be water in the bucket. So looks like it was maybe one time filled with ice. Obviously melted. It's been here for a while. And you would just see a note in very fancy cursive just saying, "Welcome, Mr. Kenrick."
He made a gift basket.
But yeah, wide variety of rooms. There's a parlor. There is probably 2 bathrooms with plumbing in them. So, plumbing? I mean, 1871, that is some nice stuff right there. Yeah. And there is a pretty large seating area. That's just almost a sunroom, I guess. Almost completely surrounded by windows.
could get used to this.
And now for our break from HGTV, we're going back to Dishonored now. That's basically the gist of it. It's a very nice apartment, but
That's
it's
after they flip the house.
yep. There you go. It's not decadent. It's certainly nice, but it's not like, oh look, it's a Ming Dynasty vase. No. Oh, excuse me, vase. Nothing like that. That's super fragile. Obviously, the furniture looks very nice, but it's not like, whoa, is that a masterpiece on the wall there? It's nice.
I'm gonna go ahead and slip the Hastings device strap off from around my shoulders, put it down on the king bed to claim it, and then do a kind of like perimeter of the place. I kind of want to just like
Okay.
Lee's going to be doing that as well.
All right.
Honestly,
things
so
out
sad.
subtly.
Lee's going to be focusing on places that someone could break in.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is one negative to the wide amount of windows, and that is many places to break in. Thankfully, it seems like the only door actually into the apartment is... there's two. There's one leading to the elevator and one from a stairwell going out all throughout the apartments. So it's not like if one entrance is blocked off, you're dead. So those are the two main areas. It looks like the locks are very well built on those two entrances, though. So it would probably take a very, very effective thief to break through those locks. But there is the window, which could possibly be shot through by a sniper if there is someone maybe across the way at a vantage point or something like that. Master bedrooms seem fairly secure. They also have windows in them, but they're a lot smaller than these kind of massive ones in like the sunroom.
All right. Is there a way for someone to climb through a window?
Yes. So with the architecture of this time, there is a lot of, I don't know the word for it, but like basically outside of the window there would be like an actual sill, I guess, with, a lot of stonework on it. There's probably, I don't know, gargoyles at the top of this building. Just a lot of stonework that could be climbed on. It's not this complete flat modern surface. It's very climbable. So yes.
Is the elevator noisy?
Yes, it is very noisy.
Okay. So, are there curtains or sheets I can hang over the windows?
Yes, there are, in fact. Almost all of them have a set of curtains alongside them.
Alright, so what Lee's going to do is he's going to go and cover the windows so you can't see in from across the street. And then he's going to go, is there a vase or anything in here that he can, or a vase or anything breakable in here?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
There's probably some flower pots and whatnot.
So he's going to try to set up a contraption using thread that he carries around in his medical kit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to set it up on the door leading to the stairs so that if anyone comes through the stairs,
Mhm.
they will fall, break, and make a lot of noise.
Okay, roll a tinker check.
And we were telling Sebastian not to make
Tinker
a mess.
carefully. Hey, I'm tinkering carefully. That is 2 successes.
Okay, all right. You definitely do make this trap. Could I ask what the scores on those dice were?
2 and 8.
Okay. All right. The reason I asked that is because traps are they're kind of like delayed contests. So if someone was trying to like keep an eye out for traps, it would be contested with the roll that you made to plan a trap.
Okay.
So what exactly is it? It's like a string attached to...
It's a string attached to like a vase sitting on top of a piece of furniture or something so that if the door opens, it'll knock the thing down, break it, and make a lot of noise.
Is this before or after Sab comes up and enters that door? Okay, that's good. Intruder!
Everyone be careful about
Yeah,
that.
I tell Sab especially, do not use that door. I rigged a trap to it in case someone tries to break in. Anyone breaks that and starts going through the door, I will shoot them.
Cool.
Anyone never told you you're
Feel
making
very
sense?
secure.
That's how I stayed alive.
By this time, the whole hazy sunlight thing in this apartment is gone because every single window was covered with drapes or curtains, and it's very dark in here now. There are electric lights that you guys can turn on, but right now, nothing.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the drapes off of my windows and off of the sunroom.
Okay.
There's nothing he can do.
I do really prefer it when there's a natural light in the room.
If you're gonna have a sunroom, you might as well do it right.
Sab is like,
Otherwise, it's just.
he's at the sunroom. He's got one of the windows open. He's just looking down. Wow, the architecture is really cool here.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking at all the architecture.
Yep.
Specifically, he's looking at how one might climb said architecture and
Oh,
come
boy.
down said architecture.
Only some of the windows can be opened. A lot of them are just purely for, I don't want to say decoration because they're windows.
Yeah.
They always serve a
Yeah.
purpose. But they're just, you just
They're
can't
not
open them.
tight.
But about every other window you could probably open up. And definitely someone who's been with the circus could easily be able to climb this. Obviously, there would not be people happy with that. There are patrol officers in Sunline that would probably say, "Hey, you, what are you doing on the building?" Like that one time that one guy with suction cups climbed up Trump Tower.
Wow. Yeah.
But yes, it can be done.
In dire circumstances, right?
Yeah.
So as you all
Not for
have this new location, we're going to go ahead and take just a very brief break, and then resume in just a bit. All right, everybody, welcome back to the West. So, you all just explored a lovely apartment provided to you by Maxim Kenrick. Nice and shiny. Nothing destroyed yet, but we'll see.
Sebastian.
Is there anything you all would like to do now that you have this location? The night is still young.
Woo! Time to go find some drug. Oh wait, we have a drug dealer in house. Is there?
Probably a drug dealer.
Okay, so like, what kind of accommodations are there here? Is there like a kitchen?
That's where he's sleeping, remember?
There's an extensive kitchen. There's a laundry area. There's a dining room. There's a sunroom, master bedroom, 2 guest rooms, parlor. I don't really want to draw the blueprints and explain where all the rooms
No,
are.
that's fine.
I took a drafting class one time and it was not fun, so I'm not doing that again.
Would like to take Mikhail aside,
Yes.
have a bit of conversation.
Yeah. First things first, though, you were checking the perimeter.
Yes.
Make a tinker check.
I'm particularly interested in if there are any like secret ways out, like panic rooms, escape routes, things like that.
Yeah, that, if you're looking for secret entrances, that would not be something picked up by the Hastings device. But I'd ask you just make a study check for
I
that.
don't need that Hastings device.
You said you were going around with the Hastings device and doing a perimeter search.
No, I
Oh,
put
so
the
put it
Hastings
down in
device
the back.
down to claim my room.
Oh, wait, did you claim the master bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, of course. All right. Yeah, just a regular perimeter search. Then make a study check then.
1 success.
Yeah, it's kind of just a basic apartment. Doesn't look like there's any secret entrances or anything.
Fair enough. Just kind of want to appraise things.
Not a bad idea. All right. So,
I do want to talk to Mikhail though.
of course, you would see him just kind of wide-eyed, just looking around, probably in the sunroom.
Is it nicer than your place?
Yes, it is quite a bit nicer.
Well, come on, take a seat.
Oh, okay. He sits down in a very, very sloped chair. Just kind of... Oh, darn it. These ones don't go back. Darn it. Oh well.
We don't need to talk business just yet, but I would be curious to know if anyone's sent word through you or asked for my services here.
Ah, yes, clients. Well, truth be told, Heisel, your name hasn't spread that much here in Pandacia. Obviously, there are plenty of people from the Isles, like Kenrick, for example. But no clients here in Sunline. I did get some letters of interest from, I think there was someone in Jessamine interested in your services.
Do you remember the name?
I'm sorry, Heisel, not off the top of my head. I will let you know later, though.
That's fine. No, you better tell me all about your secret.
Oh, no, Heisel, you'll read it eventually. It's...
Just give me the 10-second version.
It is a romance between two loves, one in Pandacia, one in the Isles, and they're trying to close the distance.
What's stopping them?
The distance.
Right.
Also war, and criminals, and, things.
Does one of them have, I don't know, some sort of jealous sex lover or something like that to get in between them too?
Oh, a love triangle?
Well, not really, but
Huh.
anything like that.
Yes, the man back in the Isles, someone is flirting with him.
Oh no.
Yes, but he is loyal for now, but his loyalty shall be tested. That's in the future. I can't say anything about that.
Anything about it, don't worry.
Oh no, I am committed to the integrity of the serial. I cannot tell anyone what will happen. You have to watch it, like everybody else.
Fine. You struck a hard bargain.
I do, yes. It is one thing I will stand on, is integrity of serial.
Of course.
Hmm.
I mean, what sort of creator would you be if you didn't?
A bad one. A bad one.
And you were not a bad creator.
Well, thank you. You haven't even watched it yet to listen to it. Yeah.
Do you have some sort of written version of the ones you've already?
Yes. Unfortunately, they do not really like my voice that much, so they have an actor read it on the radio.
You should.
No. It's fair. My voice isn't exactly the most clear, so I would rather have my message interpreted than me read it
But it's under
myself.
your name.
Oh, yes, that's right. Well, wait, my pen name.
What's your pen name?
I'm going by Gustavus right now.
Are you ever going to reveal who it is you are?
I'm not sure. I mean, I get plenty of royalties from it. It's actually been my living so far here. But, I don't, we'll see. We'll see.
Seems like
Just
you've
a-
been doing pretty well for
Oh,
yourself.
yes, it's a humble side job along being a secretary for the Lady Augur, of course. Well, maybe not secretary. The manager of letters and other
You
documents.
can be whatever you want to be.
An author.
Pick a job title.
Emperor of Affairs. I like it.
That's what I'll call you.
Hmm. But yes, you have a very nice apartment. Do you plan to stay in Sunline long?
I know we have to head to Jessamine at some point, but I think we're going to put it off for a few days at least.
Okay. Jessamine is nice. It's no Sunline, but it's a big river city.
Yeah, I'm currently at a bit of a loss about how to do exactly what it is all you need to do, but I need to search some leads out here at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take some time.
Well, there's plenty of leads to pursue. I'm surprised I haven't had any requests for your services here. Lots of void people here.
Really?
Right, yeah, some cultists. Pretty sure I've heard of a cult in like the second floor of this apartment, but
Should we go pay them a visit?
they're kind of a aristocratic cult, so maybe.
Oh, so more of the void is a bit of an in thing sort of cult rather than
Right, I am 80% certain they have orgies. So, right, yeah, that kind of cult. Probably. Does not seem like your kind of cult. Nor mine.
Well, I did want to know if you had heard of a few names while you were around here.
Oh, some names?
Sure. Just a few things a friend of mine was interested in.
Okay.
This is you're able to be discreet, right, Mika?
Of course. I will not reveal my serial. I will not reveal whatever private conversation you would like to have with me.
Perfect. Have you ever seen any of these names? And I'm gonna hand the list.
Heard that one. That's my neighbor!
What?
Dr. Two. Right, yes, she's my neighbor.
Your neighbor?
Well, yeah, she's a couple houses down.
Is she terrible?
No, she's a doctor. She helps many people.
She's alright. And nothing diabolical or anything like that.
No, I mean, she once made me fruitcake that was not the best, but nothing diabolical.
That's not exactly what I had in mind.
That's the,
Which
She makes explosive stuff. Sabella Scanti, she's a big businesswoman. Yeah. I don't remember. She has the explosive stuff. That's not just whale oil. She makes that. It sells a whole lot of it. The military and miners and whatnot.
Where is she based?
I don't know. Sorry.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Mikhail,
Mhm.
I think it might be advantageous for us to come home with you for a bit.
Oh. No. Your apartment is much better for parties and welcoming guests.
I don't mean for a party or anything.
My house is quite a bit smaller than this apartment.
Well, I want to see where you've been staying. At least.
Just-
Make sure you're doing
okay.
all right for yourself.
Okay, well, I am doing fine.
All right, well, consider it a bit of overprotectiveness on my part then.
All right, Lady Ogre, you can come along. I think I can make some tea. So, would all of your friends be coming?
Nancy, don't worry. Sebastian will be interested, and I doubt Mr. Barrett will allow me to leave his side. So,
All right. When would you like to do this? Maybe tomorrow so I can prepare, or like tonight,
the
or...
morning sounds great.
Okay, that's good.
You don't need to be so embarrassed.
Oh, no, it's fine. They just need to prepare for hosting people. It's a Tivian pride thing. We have to... When we welcome people, we welcome people.
Well, I look forward to it, Mika.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to stay with us for dinner, you're welcome.
Ooh, that sounds excellent.
I'll go see what we can scrounge up.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Are you searching the kitchen?
Yeah, and if Sebastian is still in there with his bed,
Sebastian is eating food from the pantry.
There is nothing in the
Okay,
pantry.
He's not eating. He's trying to...
There is literally, I forgot to mention one thing also attached to the kitchen would be, I guess what would look like a pantry from the outside, but it's just completely filled with wine. It's just wine rack.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to ask where the minibar was.
oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. By the way,
Oh, no.
are there any updates on his condition?
Oh yeah.
Anton's
No.
Oh,
condition
Anton's
from-
No.
Okay.
You're not feeling anything.
Yeah, during this time... During the time...
Nothing. No vigor, no pain. No. You're good. Just tasted weird at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
So it was just like a nasty drink.
Hopefully.
Disgusting drink alcohol. During this time, could Sav have been able to, like, okay, no one's around, takes the champagne bottle, puts it in his coat, takes the bucket over.
There's
like,
no way Lee's gonna take
puts
his
it
eye
in
off
his-
of you while you're
Oh, okay.
walking around in the kitchen.
If you want to
Opening the
stealth it, you can do a contest.
It's also,
You got stealth
it's also worth
it.
noting that Anton's probably
He's
also
gonna
like
try- well, the
glancing
thing is,
towards
he would
you
be
from
trying
time to
to-
time as a reference.
He's trying to, like, probably get it before anyone saw it.
Yeah,
We're both drawing you.
So I would be studying carefully, I guess.
that's right. Yep.
I would
If that's, you can argue another style if you want.
move quietly.
Yep, this is a quiet. Gotta be
Can I
quiet.
Can I use my ability in stealth to benefit me at all watching him?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny to think of a kid being really super interested in an alcohol.
We're gonna totally have a party.
2 successes. Wait, 2 successes? Yes. Wait. Yes.
All right.
Okay, 11 and a 7.
11 and a 10.
Oh wow. It's up to you what you wanna. I mean, Lee has a very inquisitive eye and a very perceptive one, so maybe he would see you in the kitchen, but wouldn't see the whole switcheroo with the champagne bottle. Or maybe he would just see. He would see, oh shoot, he took the champagne bottle, but not where you put it or anything like that. It's up to you. I will say that that's a very close check, so
Yeah. I would
he didn't
say-
see everything, but maybe he saw something.
I would say. Yeah, he takes the champagne bottle. He was hoping to probably like take the bucket and like pour it out somewhere, put it somewhere, so people are like, oh, there's just a bucket here, like in the kitchen, and like be like, oh, that's interesting. And so then
Oh, this is a
like, why
bucket.
there a,
Dear
like,
God.
a wet like thing that's there.
Mm-hmm.
So he maybe takes off the tag.
Okay.
Sebastian, what are you doing in the kitchen?
Yeah, you
Looking
would say
for
him in the kitchen.
food. There's nothing to eat in here.
All right, behave yourself.
Eventually, I come back up from my conversation in the sunroom.
Is there anything to eat in there?
No.
They're out?
Yeah, I don't think they stock it.
I'll have to see about that. Oh,
Or the
Sebastian.
man only consumes wine.
Well, here's the thing about most food is that at this time,
Oh, yeah.
most of them are perishable, whereas wine, it just gets better.
Oh,
So,
yeah, because he technically doesn't like the winery. Just
that's right.
part
Yeah,
of his
there's
house.
not a single bottle taken out of the rack. It is completely untouched.
Good grief! I could have just stolen that. Oh well.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell you. Mikhail has a bit of an insight on your list.
Look over at him.
And this is like with
What?
my voice semi-lowered.
Sure,
Is there something here I should know about?
Well, I mean, we
Nothing
got
particular.
we got a lot of wine.
Except for the fact that we need to go get some groceries, if you wouldn't mind coming with me.
All right. Sebastian, stay out of the wine. Behave yourself.
To translate it for you, don't do anything fun until we get back.
Okay. Painter, do you want to go and check out the town? You know, like the markets and stuff. I've been wanting to check through, see what they have. And also, do you know where there's like the bone market?
Bone market.
Bone charm market.
So you would know that
Sweet bones.
where you all landed, Fort Keir, spelled like tier but with a K. That is where most of the markets are, and there are plenty of kind of curiosity salesmen, people selling bone charms. You even remember a distinct store that was known for selling void curiosities and artifacts and whatnot. Called Zviva. Zwiva. And that is also in Fort Keir.
Sviva.
See? Yes.
I suppose I know a place. It's kind of close to where we already were.
I will say, this is also a place that you got some Void Fiend. That's how you know it.
It's got some, well, void-related stuff down there.
Could be an interesting place to check out while we're here in Sunline.
Both of you, if you are going, Mr. Blackburn, please keep an eye on him.
I'd be interested to go there
I'll
too,
do my
actually,
best.
if you want to make it one big trip.
I have no problem with that.
I mean, it would be faster, but whatever.
I'd like to go along, if you don't mind so much. Is that amenable to you, Mr. Barrett?
No. I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it amenable to you, Mr. Barrett?
Yes, of course.
All right. Well, come on then. We'll get some food on the way back. Nika, we're running out for a bit. You're welcome to come if you want to.
Oh, of course, I don't exactly want to just stay here alone. It's too much apartment for one Mikkel.
Quite right.
Mm-hmm.
So before we leave, Lee's gonna leave dust on the outsides of the door of both the door handles.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, any powder or dust or anything. Is there anything you can use to leave on the door handles?
I will say from the food, there is plenty of salt and pepper. A lot of spices that are still available.
So he's gonna leave that on the door, so if anybody goes in there, he can see if anybody's tampered with the door
Mhm.
at all before they go back
Okay,
inside.
all right.
You're pretty thorough, Mr. Barrett.
I'm just doing my job.
Do you expect trouble?
I don't know. I don't know why we're here, to be honest.
Sort of a weak point.
Very well. Well, if you ever want to tell me what kind of threats we'll be dealing with, I very well like to hear that and know what we're up against.
Sit down with me later tonight and we'll talk about it, alright?
Very well.
I don't want to keep you in the dark.
All right.
So
All right.
now, is Antoine going to bring us to the bone market?
Yes.
It's less of a bone market and more of you'd be very likely to find someone selling bone charms and that sort of thing.
I'll take the Hastings device, by the way,
Okay, all right.
and be kind of like playing around with this.
So are you guys getting food first or going to...
Market first, food on the way back.
Okay, all right. So you all take the tram back down to Fort Keir, the coastal area, and go back into the markets themselves. You can see most of the open air markets are kind of closing down for the day as they're nearing the evening. So maybe not as busy as they would be around noon. You can see there's one building probably like 3 stories tall labeled Quinson's Emporium and General Store. Kind of towering above almost all the other buildings here in Sunline. But are you all looking for anything in particular in the open air market, or are you all heading straight for Zviva?
If there's a lighter or someone who has one of those,
Okay, yeah, that's a...
Precursor to arson.
Yes, I do not know what the technology of lighters would be at the time. I think that just...
I think the lighter predated the match.
What?
Yeah.
No way, really?
'Cause matches are-
It doesn't seem like... You know
matches are
what?
a weird chemical thing.
Yeah.
Versus lighters is flint and steel, basically.
Yeah.
Plus flammable.
Yeah, I have heard of some, like, there are even some lighters that use, like, rope and flint and steel as one distinct thing. But there are, you know what, there are definitely whale oil lighters. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and say the open air markets, it's more like a bazaar in that it's less of, like, specific things and more of just absolute randomness. So that's kind of the place if you're just like browsing for stuff rather than like looking for anything in particular. So if you want to look through the markets for that sort of thing, I'll go ahead and make you do a study check to see if you can find one.
Okay, study carefully. One success.
Okay. You do indeed find one. You see this lighter that is engraved with this gold, what's it called? Filigree, I think? Of this image of a whale on it with a pattern around it. Kind of like the pattern on, I believe it's, this side. Something like that. In a pile of miscellaneous things in one particular stall. And you see the stall owner walk up to you from behind the tables and just say, "Ah, yes, that is a very fine piece. Could I interest you in it?"
Yes, I have 2 Morlean banknotes for it.
Okay, I got this one specifically from Dunwall. This is probably going to cost around $30. It is an antique.
What is that in
Morlean banknotes.
Or I have these
Okay,
coins-
question for you all.
banknotes. I like the many
The currencies, I'll keep that up.
Considering we have the exchange rate, 10 Morlean notes equals 1 Imperial coin, that's been fine.
Yeah.
Is there a list somewhere that has all the...
There is not. I'm sorry, I need to make that.
and even people being like, oh, we don't accept that there.
Right.
Interesting complications.
So I did want to ask you all. Morlean banknotes are the standard currency around the Isles, and especially in Pandysia. I don't know if I want to call them dollars or come up with a name for them. I've been thinking of making this pseudo word out of MBN, like Moobins or something like that.
You can just call them notes.
I like, notes sounds more,
Yeah.
You got any notes? Yep.
Well,
Thank you. Yeah, notes sounds like a good abbreviation. So that's what we'll be calling them from now on.
Okay. So 80 region coins and then 6 Morlean banknotes.
Okay.
Or banknotes.
Mhm.
6 notes.
Yep.
Alright, how much was it again?
It was 25 notes.
Alright. I don't know, that's a bit expensive for my purse. Can you do 20?
Make a persuasion check.
Talk cleverly. He got a critical success and then a normal success, so 3.
You know what? I don't always do this, but I think you can have this one for free.
Oh, thank you.
I'd like to encourage repeat customers.
Oh man, what's your name, sir?
Yes,
I can
my name
pass
is-
along.
I have it written down, darn it.
He has his name written down.
I do.
He forgets
What's
it.
your name? I have it written down, darn it. That's my name. Don't
Sam looks
forget
at
it.
the name on
I
the
forget
stall
it
and he's like,
sometimes.
oh, I forgot how letters were.
Yes, you can call me Latrobe.
Latrobe.
Mhm.
That's what it is, sorry.
Any particular reason you're picking up a lighter?
Jungles of Morley making fires. Well,
Excuse me? What?
In the jungle.
Wait, what was the question?
Is there any particular reason you're looking for a lighter?
And then he said, jungle's immorally making fires.
There are
Burning down
no jungles in Morley.
You sure you're not confusing it with Sergaris?
Okay, that's, I suppose, then. In the wilderness, make a fire.
You purchased a lighter to burn down the jungles.
I did not purchase a lighter to burn down the jungles.
I got it for
Got a
free.
lighter for free to burn down the jungles.
Okay. No, I didn't do. Or it's for if we're out on the road and we need a fire. We have a fire. Well,
I can do that, you know.
well, now I can do it too. So if the party gets split, bam, we're good.
Well, sure. Fair enough.
Also, do you see this whale? Like he's ugly. Like they're really cool first time, but when you see them, like, oh my
It's
gosh.
kind of funny.
He
how-
looks away with an
different
exasperated
thing.
look on his face.
All sorts of myths about whales in the void, actually.
They kill the whale and then they stuff its guts in the lighter and then they paint the whale on the side. That's kind of weird.
Pretty much.
In the
Yep.
East.
Yeah, drawing an animal on its dead corpse is kind of just a strange habit in general. People do that with certain hides as well sometimes. Strange.
Mm.
I don't think they think about it when they're doing it though.
Well, I got everything I need. What was the guy's name again?
Latrobe.
You still take us down to the market? And
Yeah.
where from here?
Oh, it's this way.
All right, you're going to.
The market.
You're there.
Oh,
The specific one that you
The
had
special
mentioned,
market.
which name?
Oh, it's Viva? That's a building. Yeah.
yeah, we're going to Zviva. I guess.
Okay, there you go.
Is that?
Because he wanted Zviva.
ZWIVA.
Ivy.
Zviva. It's fun to say, is it not?
What a name.
All right.
And welcome to Zviva.
I'm gonna start tuning what
Just
he
sounds
sees
like
by
such
something.
a-
I'm very curious.
Okay.
Such a
As you're tuning it, you pick up a lot of things around you. It's very hard to triangulate where things are exactly coming from, but most are actually not coming from. It's literally as soon as you turn the thing on. So around you, there's just a lot of things pinging it.
Anything particularly interesting?
Make a tinker check.
Okay. Void Lord?
Voidlore.
Sad. Is he also probably looking at different things?
Okay.
One
Make a study
success.
check.
Can I use void more?
Yes. Heisel, I will say that with the sheer amount of sources going on, it's honestly really hard to narrow something down, but you managed to isolate one single signal and trace it to a booth where it seems like the most things being sold are clothes here, just kind of a thrift store almost. But you see one coat, this tattered gray coat, and you can hear something coming from within the lining. The familiar tune of whale song from the bone. Or bone song?
When you say in the lining, is it likely that this hadn't been noticed? Considering
Probably.
it's a thrift store. I
Probably.
might take a look around. Try on a couple of things.
Mhm.
Eventually make my way over to that coat.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, huh, this is interesting. Take it off the hook. Try it on. Yeah, that looks pretty spiffy. Kind of feel the lining a little bit subtly.
Mm-hmm.
What do I feel in the lining?
Oh! Yeah, you feel a bone charm. It seems like a single ringed bone charm with one particular strand hanging out, but a bone charm.
It's okay to slip it out of the pocket.
It is sewn in. It's not in a pocket.
Excuse me.
Yes, could I help you?
How much for the coat?
Yes, Wait, I'm sorry. I need to make this person not Mikkel.
I was going to say, Mikhail, you're also a business owner.
Ah, yes, I could give that to you for 2 notes.
One.
Okay.
Great.
And I'll hand the person the one,
Okay, there you go.
and I will take the coat.
Alright. I got one success and one critical failure. Or
Oh, complications.
There's just too much to sift through at this time. You don't find anything. I won't give you a complication though. So
And you've been here before.
Well,
Is there anywhere you'd recommend?
depends on what you're looking for.
Well, what are some of the places you've been?
Well, that doesn't matter. I'm not going to any of those places right now. You should just explore, see what you want. There's a lot of fun stuff here. I'll start like going off and like pointing out various things.
If you point out anything interesting, I might stop in. I just don't know what there is to.
yeah. So there are probably a couple booths that you've seen. Maybe some with painting supplies. Maybe some of the more nicer clothes places that try and change up their merchandise from time to time. You're probably familiar with Quinson's Emporium as well, the building that's kind of towering over everything else. They specialize there in custom-built clothing for any sort of purpose. So whether that's combat or stealth or anything like that, you can get something for that there. Yeah. And then there's, of course, Zviva.
Is that where you get your paintings?
Well, I pick up paints various places as I go. Depends on where I run out, really.
So what's brought you down here?
Well, it's a very interesting place to be around.
Anywhere specific you'd recommend, or I'd love to see where your usual haunts are.
I mean, it depends on what you're looking for, as I've said.
Just looking to get a picture of your own life, Frontal. I'm afraid I don't know a ton about you, other than, the whole painting thing.
Well, sure.
Do I get the kind of cornered animal look he's giving off?
Are you trying to...
He probably just looks like a little embarrassed about like what he's come here for
Mm-hmm.
in the past. But
You're not lying about anything, though.
no.
No, I'm not like trying
Make
to do an
it-
inside check or anything
okay.
like that. I'm just
He's-
curious
oh,
if the
he
expressions
probably
that Levi
looks-
gets off are the ones
He
that
probably looks a little awkward, like, let's not talk. Let's focus on other things. Let's move on. Let's just avoid that question.
After a minute, she
It's
kind of
probably
smirks
kind
and
of-
is like, I'm not going to pry into your business. Don't worry.
Well, you have to
I'm
know.
just pulling your leg.
You weren't here, and so there are other ways to get certain things that you can provide. So there's maybe no reason to go right now, unless you wanted to restock or something.
You used someone else's services as well as mine.
Well, it's not
And Tom.
as much services. You
I
do a
thought
lot
we were
more.
friends.
I mean, to some degree, you just
I'm
go to the
joking, I'm
shop,
joking, you're fine.
you take it home, and you just do whatever you want with it. I mean,
You don't have to
I
be
didn't.
embarrassed.
I didn't have a whole guided session or anything.
You're fine. I'm just pulling your leg.
I mean, I would never use another service while you're available. It's just you were all the way on the miles, and I was over.
Are you seeing other drug dealers?
I thought we had something special.
It was Void Fiend.
I couldn't take it real personal, don't worry.
Where do you get your supply?
You wanna know?
I mean, that's why I asked.
Honestly. Places like this.
For real?
For real?
Well, at least you do add the whole experience to it.
Well, I don't think anyone else should see it. Don't have a direct connection to the void like I do.
That is true. That's
Sort of
not
a
the most
unique
common
thing.
thing.
It's more about that for some of my clients than the void fiend itself, actually. You're one of my more void fiend kind clients.
I'm only a drug dealer on the side.
You want to see something interesting?
Sure.
I'm going to like cut open the line with jacket and take out the bone charm.
One note.
I'm going to hold up the charm.
I'm imagining they didn't know that was in there.
I doubt it.
What's it do?
Can I tell? Wait.
Oh, yeah.
I
Make
got
a tinker
thing for
check.
this. I got a thing for this. I'm going to take out the Jesus device and open up the compartment and put it in.
Tinker check.
Yes. Void Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Want to draw it? What do these things look like?
One
They're made of
success.
whalebone.
Mm-hmm.
One success.
Just give it down. Just
Shopping.
images.
Yep. This is what this one looks like.
Oh, it's like
That's not actually glowing. That's just the menu UI. So yeah, looks like these things right here.
It's like a ring,
Nice.
and it has like the little bone that just.
So it's not even just a bone; it's like a whole thing.
Right. There's like a brass ring on it. Yeah.
Can I tell what mine is gonna do?
Well, you can narrow down that it's not a corrupt bone charm, so it does something positive, but you cannot tell immediately. Sorry about that.
Sorry, I'll check it out.
I'll take it back out. What do you think you can do?
I'll take a look at it. Am I going to
You trust him with
try
that.
and figure out what it is?
Sure.
Make a
You
study
don't
check.
have to do this any harder.
Study probably cleverly.
Oh, I'm not afraid of him intentionally causing
And
harm.
then void lore. So
Well,
here we
this
go.
Most bone charms are good potent.
2 successes.
Most people aren't Sebastian.
2 successes is all you needed to do that.
I'll say that nobody's Sebastian except him.
So this is a bone charm. Oh, darn it, it has a name. I know what it does, but
You can.
you know what? Bar the name. Basically, what this allows you to do, all bone charms have a sort of small bonus that help people out. They're very vague in what they can and cannot do. They range from bonuses in combat to like passive things. Famously, bone charms were actually first used as birth control. Sailors believed that it would help them not impregnate people, apparently.
If this is the only thing that this one does, I will be upset.
This one does not seem to be doing that, thankfully.
It wouldn't be
Basically, what
helpful
this
to her.
bone charm allows you to do, it gives you a little bit more effectiveness when doing things boldly. So if you're ever making a bold check, you can re-roll 1 dice that you don't like.
That's cool.
Any bold check. Yep. So I guess in terms of universe, it would be like it helps you do when you're doing things openly. It gives you a bit more vigor, I suppose. Man, those pretzels are very good.
You get
In other
anything
words,
from
it does
Russia?
the thing that the guy
so-
said his stuff did. You want a vigor potion? It's
What's that?
just a bad drink.
Take a look at it.
You want this
Mag?
tattered old coat? Has a
It's-
vigor charm in it.
It's a bit of a strag. Well, you know how bone charms work. They're
Sure.
weird.
Of course they do.
They just work. So this helps I don't know, get a little bit more vigor in your step, I suppose. Helps
Sales
you
man,
with.
one layer's rubbing off on you.
Yeah, I suppose so. Maybe this is where I got the idea. But basically, cross observe. Helps out with straightforward actions and stuff, I suppose. Put it.
Good way of putting it.
Actually, I'm gonna talk with that. Seems like more your style than mine.
Oh, cool. I put it on one of my fingers.
That's
It's not a finger thing.
Yeah, it's not.
that's why you're supposed to wear those. You should
I have nothing else to put on.
just put it in your pocket.
Puts it in his pocket. He, well, actually, he doesn't. He leaves them. No, it's fine.
Lee
I'll
looks
put
at
it
him
in
with a
later.
very just disappointed look.
Is there anything else you were down here for, Sebastian?
I don't think so.
Is there anything special down here in town? Anything more interesting than bone charms?
Zviva.
But aren't we in Zviva?
Mm-mm. No,
Wait,
that's
we
a
not
market.
in Zviva yet?
No.
Oh my
She
God.
got this one from the thrift store.
Oh,
Oh.
I thought we were there, but yeah, cool.
No, Zviva's a building. It's a enclosed store. So it's not quite the open air art market that you guys are in right now.
Hopefully that.
As we're walking to the place, Sab kind of pulls behind the party and he puts it into his coat because he's still carrying around a wine bottle or champagne bottle, technically.
Those are quite big.
Yeah, so he's like, puts it in his coat. So we
You're
found
gonna
it-
try and find a buyer here? Find champagne.
Straight from the house of
Can I
Mr.
introduce you
Maxim
into the
Kennery.
champagne?
Would
Whoa,
you
this
like
is
some?
actually-
Dude, that's not illegal.
That's not
You can sell that anyway.
So we're gonna go into Sviva.
Okay,
Sviva.
Sviva.
Spiva.
So, Anton, you take a turn off of the open air market, and you're taking a few turns down some alleys. Not quite dark, but it's definitely off the beaten path a little bit. But you all walk up to this 2-story building with a sign made of wood, and charred into the wood sign is Sviva. That's it. Nothing else. This area of Sunline is a lot quieter than any other area you've been in so far. And, unfortunately, on the front of the door is a sign hastily flipped to show closed. But it does look like there's a few lights on in the building, but it just says closed.
I'll go up and knock.
You knock on the door, which has a very small glass window.
I'll look through the window as I knock.
Okay, make a study check.
Ooh. Well, that's 1 success and 1 complication.
Okay. So, with 1 success, you see a shadow moving inside the store. You've been there before. It is literally filled to the brim with shelves and odds and ends and void artifacts and just various things. So it's really hard to narrow down where someone might be in the store. There are mirrors and whatnot across it as well. So it's hard to see what exactly or who exactly is in there, if it is just the store owner. I'm trying to think of a complication. But there's definitely someone in there probably skulking around.
Seems like there might already be someone in there. I'm not sure that it's a shopkeeper or anything though.
What do you mean?
It might be someone who shouldn't be there.
What gives you
I
this
can't really
impression?
tell. Well, they aren't looking real open. Or,
Maybe it'd be best to leave and come back tomorrow.
I mean, if someone's trying to steal something in there, don't you think we're able to do something?
Probably have to deal with it.
My responsibility is to keep Lady Cohen safe, and avoiding confrontation when we don't need to would be best in that regards.
We left just one person in there.
Are any of you keeping an eye on what's in there?
Saps
I'll
probably
still be-
went over and started looking at
Okay, make a study check.
it. Study. Probably carefully. 1 success.
Okay. You can't quite see anyone in there, but you do see when looking down that the lock has been, I need a better word than jimmied.
Oh.
It's been broken into. And a pretty crude job of doing it too. Not very subtle. Someone literally forced this door open.
Like puts his hand on the door. Yeah, they definitely are not supposed to be here.
Did you open it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess we ought to go in then.
Mr. Barrett, would you
Lee,
take up the front?
Lee unslings his gun and takes point and starts to move in.
Okay.
Has a little slipper knife out of her boot.
Sad moves to like.
There's a knife in my
Well,
mouth.
he goes with eyes
There's
always.
a knife in my boot.
So, walking in, there are normally lights on in this store when it is open, but not now. So the only light coming into the shop are through the front windows, casting these obtuse shadows across the wall, going through various bits and baubles on the shelves and whatnot.
Keeping my eyes open, I'm gonna gesture actually for Anton and Sab to kind of flank, try to take a different route than we are, cover more ground.
Lee's
It's a
going
very
to-
small shop with basically 2 aisles.
Yeah, so I'll kind of gesture for them to go down the other aisle.
So Lee's going to go down towards the end of one aisle and, with his rifle at the ready, be looking down the aisle for anyone who gets flushed out into that aisle.
Okay.
And I'll stick
Are
with
there any
him.
like rafters or anything?
It is a completely one-level building.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a. It does have 2 levels, but
Yeah, no.
the second floor is a separate floor.
I'm taking a palette knife out of my bag.
Oh, excuse me?
A palette knife.
I know what a palette is, but what the heck is a palette knife?
It's a thing. It's like a knife. It's not really like a knife. It's a metal thing that you use to mix paint.
Is it kind of like a butter knife, but like a flimsy butter knife?
Sort of, except rather than have like, it's sort of like they're typically offset, kind of like frosting spreaders.
Mm-hmm.
The offset frosting spatula. It's kind of more like that, but they're made of thin metal. So like, it's probably not the most effective weapon,
Right. Yeah.
But it's a thing,
Right. Oh, okay. So you've pushed Bob Ross too far.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Coming at you with
one
a.
of those little metal.
I'm not trying
Palette
to be
knife.
like a super effective fighter here. I'm just like,
Right,
I don't
defend
know
yourself.
What you do in this situation? I guess I'll grab art supplies because I have that.
Sab probably pulls out his cudgel.
Okay. So, as you 4 are going... Oh, wait, Mikhail's with you as well. Yeah, Mikhail will also go into the building, and as he sees all of you doing this, he just fumbles with his own knife and pulls it out as well.
Just be careful and stay behind me, alright?
Okay. As you all are continuing your path further in, keeping your, you're not trying to sneak, but you're not trying to be very loud either, are
We're
you?
not balls in a china shop.
Right. Yeah. Which is a very appropriate metaphor here, because if you did literally maybe charge in, you would knock over shelves and it would be chaotic.
Keeping our eyes peeled.
Okay. As you all move forward, who's taking point on both sides?
I guess Lee's on the right side.
Lee and Sab.
Sab goes first.
Both of you make a study check.
I'm
Just
specifically
study
keeping an eye on Mikhail.
carefully.
What's that?
Are you sure no one comes up behind us or anything like that?
Okay, good idea.
No success.
2 successes.
Okay. Okay. Lee, you would see there is someone taking cover behind the counter. Just a little bit of his head is poking out over it.
Alright. Lee aims with his rifle
Wait,
and
what are you doing?
he yells, put your hands in the air and come out or I will shoot you.
Okay. As you yell that, the person kind of jolts up a little bit, raises his hands, and then you hear him say, I think I am the one that is supposed to talk about that. Charter Marshal, lower your weapons. And you would see as this 6'4", really tall, well-dressed, dark skin, circular glasses, this guy stands up from behind the counter. You see he has this peculiar, it's like a marksman's pistol, holstered on a leg holster. I am in a position of authority here, so I believe I could ask you all the same question.
Does he have any identification?
He has on his breast pocket a bronze star that just says Charter Marshal on it.
I'll wear my neck.
Lee lowers, he's not pointing his gun at them either, but he's got it at the ready in case he needs to shoot.
Are you here about the break-in?
I am indeed. I am here to investigate the disappearance of this store's owner.
A disappearance?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound very good.
No, it does not.
When did it happen?
I believe it happened today.
Well, that's prompt then.
Did you hear any sort of a struggle or
I
anything
am
like that?
wondering immediately first, what were you planning to do with that peculiar weapon?
I don't know.
Very well. Who are all of you first?
We were intending to just be patrons here.
Hmm.
Then we saw what had happened with the The lock being tampered with and with some
Ah,
folk
yes.
inside.
Intervening citizens.
Yeah,
I see.
something along those lines.
Well, unfortunately, the owner of this shop, one Mr. Duxon, was, I believe, kidnapped. I will attempt to investigate this on my own. But I appreciate your whatever intention of helping you all intended to give.
I don't suppose we'd still be able to peruse the merchandise if the shop owner might be gone.
I see no problem in that as long as you do not steal anything.
Well, I think I'll do it like that.
Okay.
Do you have any suspects in the disappearance?
I have one suspect, the perpetrator.
You know who it was.
Of course.
Then what's the investigation all about? Why don't you just go catch him?
Right. That is the problem with it. The man behind it is Boss Derrigan. He's a sort of minor crime lord here. Are you all new to Sunline?
At very least the most of us.
Well, he does not own this city or anything like that, but he does have a degree of power and a degree of men. Any evidence as well as the missing person would probably be present in his airship in Fort Keir. Where we are now. It's at the dock. I believe the ship is... Wait a minute, why am I telling you this? Well, you want to find the perpetrator. Unfortunately, I do not have enough proof to search his vessel with backup. I could go in there if I wanted. I don't require any sort of proof to search a place, but he has a lot of men and would easily hide evidence if I went in there unannounced. So I am in a bit of a pickle.
And why is it you're here? What help would this bring?
I actually just arrived, but I pretty much just came to this conclusion as you all walked in. And then I thought, oh, they're back. I'm very glad you did not shoot me.
Good thing it wasn't John Reed.
Yeah, for real. This Bostarian, does he cause much trouble for the locals?
Not the biggest. Most of what he does is small fry work. He mostly racketeering. He preys on smaller businesses for protection. I've never seen him do anything like this before, but I know he had been pressuring Mr. Duxon to start giving money, and Mr. Duxon was not having any word of it.
And that makes you sure he's the perpetrator?
Very positive, yes. At about this time, you never saw her enter, but who was in back? Who's in the back? Mikhail and Anton. Anton, you would see behind you. Ren is actually behind you now. Not a noise whatsoever. Didn't go through the door, evidently. Or at least you didn't hear her. But I'm sorry, I should have rolled a stealth check for that. But
I don't know how stealthy she is.
this is kind of her whole deal. But
It's like Batman.
When did you get here?
uh,
Also, what are you doing here?
well, I guess I'm on this man's case as well. I am here to investigate a lead I was given on Mr. Duxon and a friend of his, a protector.
Who's the friend?
Well, I suppose this is where you all come in. He's not supposed to be here, but it's actually the person that has information regarding your predicament. Are you saying there is another person involved with this case? The marshal says. And Ren replies, I'm afraid so. He was here to investigate a claim on an object, I think.
What sort of object?
Well, judging by the shop, probably a void artifact of sorts.
Nothing more specific than that.
Nothing more specific than that. My message I got on this was very brief. Other than he left Jessamine despite being told not to.
Was that what you were talking about on the radio the other day?
Excuse me?
Is that
Oh.
what you were-
I broadcast this earlier this morning.
No worries. So, why do you think this person's involved with Mr. Dawson?
I don't know. No clue as to that. But given that this man owns void artifacts and my man is an expert in void artifacts, the intention is clear.
You don't suspect your man or anything, do you?
Of the kidnapping? No, we don't do that sort of thing. Well, not to people that don't deserve it. And you see, the Charter Marshal just raised an eyebrow to that.
Where would your man be then, in all of this?
That is a good question. Excuse me, Marshal, if there were more than one people in this store, what would they do with an extra person? And the Marshal just replies, they don't have the guts to actually kill anyone. That would make the business a lot more criminal. So they probably beat him up, let him go on his way, or kidnapped him as well. To maybe dispose of the body somewhere else where it would not be found.
Doesn't sound very promising. I think we better investigate this.
I believe I am the investigator here on this case. What exactly are you all? Not just concerned citizens.
I'm an enforcer from Bryanston.
He's one of Mr. Kenrick's men.
Uh-huh. Yes. Seems like it. Very close to shooting first and asking questions later.
Only being prepared.
Mm-hmm. What of the rest of you? Are you Kenrick's men?
Nothing of the sort. Just concerned, like you said.
Well, I could... Are you all skilled in non-detection?
I am.
Hadn't thought about enforcers. Unfortunately, I do not have the manpower to investigate this case. Boss Durgan's airship has around 20 men on it, and even if I was to get support from some of my own men, I did not want a bloodbath, and I do not want the evidence to be destroyed. So, if there was any way for you all, a simply concerned party operating outside the law, to search that airship, find evidence, find the people you're looking for, that would be of great help to me. Unfortunately, the Sunline patrol is somewhat on his payroll. So, just so much that they won't arrest him. With a large force, that is.
Yes. Would you be able to lend me perhaps a smaller revolver or a smaller pistol that doesn't need to reload between shots and could be more easily concealed and used to slink around and crawl around than a larger rifle would be?
Right. I could perhaps do that. Unfortunately, my pistol here is just a single shot, but that can be arranged. Are you fine working this pro bono?
I'll be if the Lady Cohen orders me to.
We have our own stake in this, actually. I think it's going to be where our path leads, Mr. Barrett. I'm sorry if you're uncomfortable with it.
I'm not comfortable with it. As long as we take precautions to make sure you're safe and Sebastian does not screw everything up.
Mr. Guard, sir.
I am Marshal Lance Alt.
Mr. Marshal Lance Alt.
It's just Marshal. Please.
Marshal Lance Alt.
Marshal Alt.
Marshal Alt.
It was a bit of a situation.
If, let's say, we were able to help out with this and things got a little bit loud, but not a thunderstorm,
Mhm.
a small sprinkling,
Mhm.
maybe hits of some odd stuff happening, would you be able to smooth over any strangeties that perhaps happened upon that ship?
Perhaps. If it happened while it was at dock, it would be... patrolmen would investigate no matter what. They investigate gunshots. Unless they were told by the guards there that everything was under control. The guards of the airship. The Habe's Shoe, I believe it's called? No, Mabe's Shoe. Stupid name.
Do you know what sort of uniforms the guards in the Mabe's Shoe wear?
Something not quite unlike yours, Mr. Enforcer. A bit... they're not enforcers, but they're... informal guards. So no distinct uniform. You all are a very... I don't see people taking the initiative on this sort of thing, but you all look at least somewhat capable. And it's good to approach people outside the patrol to do this sort of thing.
What are our limits on lethal force?
Well, as a charter marshal, we are permitted to use lethal force only when necessary. I suppose I could deputize you to those standards, but... no, I don't want to do that.
Fair enough.
Lethality would be... it would be best to avoid it. Some of his guards are refugees that just need some money and just need to do something. So working in the criminal enterprise is fairly easy for them to do.
Would any of them be sympathetic to the prisoners?
Oh, perhaps. I mean, kidnapping is not normally within Bostergen's playbook. It is something completely new. I've never heard of this before. And I've been a charter marshal here a long time.
This isn't in his usual set of operations, then. Do you know what could be motivating them?
It is a good question. At his most, he is a businessman, so there is probably some sort of monetary claim. Perhaps these people are important to some other buyer.
As we're talking, I'm kind of tuning the Hastings device, seeing if I can pick up anything unusual.
As soon as you turn it on, it's even louder than the market. There are a lot of signals in here. Although, to be fair, a lot of them are just kind of not quite powerful, but void-touched, I suppose. So things that wouldn't necessarily give you a benefit, but are still peculiarities.
Is there anything more
Unique?
Unique. I'm wondering if there's some sort of artifact in here that Darrigan, potentially Ren's friend, might have wanted to get their hands on.
Okay. Make a... This is actually going to be a study check. The Hastings device will not be of any help here.
Difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be 2.
Okay. I'll use my momentum.
That end. I'm also going around like looking
Okay.
to see what's
Void lore?
what. Not for any particular reason, just like
Okay, make a study check.
what sort of things are there.
Void lore. Well, actually, no. Sorry, no void lore this time.
Okay.
Like, could I use void lore?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, one success. I
Same.
will use a void point and re-roll that.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave mine.
Steady, careful.
1 success.
I actually think I'll grant that to you with 1 success.
2 successes now.
What'd you do?
I re-rolled with a void point.
Okay, all right, yeah. 2 successes will do it. You would actually see behind the counter what Marshal Alt was hiding behind. You can see there's a couple of there's a glass case in the front, and you can see a couple dents in it, cracks in it, almost as if someone was roughed up at this position. And you would see actually behind there's a glass case, and then there's like the section with a register, and underneath the register would be an open safe, which I would have. That's when I realized, oh shoot, yeah, you'd see that with a 1. It's an open safe. And you would see an open case within it. A case made of velvet with an indentation for placing something in it.
What shape is the indentation?
It is in the shape of a spike. Absolutely perfect for the spike currently on your person right now.
It's not on my person. It's in that box. I keep it in, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's in the box.
That no one knows.
The box.
With my looking around, I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay.
This is not a. There is a spike situation. This is possibly there are some spikes sort of situation.
I think she's.
Which
she
is
has told us that.
concerning. Yeah, she said there's more void artifacts, but I think this might be the first time there
She
was
told us, I think, that there are
like
6
there was evidence.
spikes.
Spikes specifically.
I think so, right?
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure
She
told
did
us
tell you
that,
6, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Prove that.
This got a little bit interesting. Come over and take a look at this.
2.
And I'm going to kind of point out the box.
That would even quite fit in something like that.
Son of the outsider.
I'm not really sure what would fit inside that.
I'll explain it to you a bit later.
Detective Alt sees you all talking about this. Do you have any idea what kind of artifact they would have seized?
Looks like a tooth, to be honest. Probably a big whale's tooth.
Some sort of
Maybe a child whale, to be honest.
knife or, I guess it could be a tooth or...
Deception check, both of you.
Do whales have teeth?
I actually don't think they do.
Some do, but
They do?
Would we
There are
be-
different
I don't
types
know-
of
I don't know
whales.
about- Would we be helpful
'Cause don't they have, like,
or would we
There's
like-
The brush, the bristle things?
Yeah, they have. There's like the baleen whales, and they have
Would we be helping
baleen.
each other? As
yeah,
well?
Yeah.
Okay.
like a sperm
Maybe a
whale.
success and a
A
complication.
bunch of other ones have.
A complication.
Like
I was
sperm
gonna
whales
say,
were the
complication.
ones that they
Right,
also
talk.
probably be most likely to hunt.
Whatever.
You guys are rolling way too many natural 20s. You need to use those dice for D&D.
Alright.
I haven't
Yeah,
gotten
okay.
any
No,
yet.
no.
These are my
I got
D&D
8
dice.
success,
What's that?
as well as that complication.
Okay.
Well,
So she got a complication. I'm going to use a void point.
Did I
to
see
reroll
anything
mine.
interesting with my?
I'll get to you in a minute. Detective Alt just nods to that, pulls out a notebook, and writes something down in it. What did you roll for your,
1 success.
okay. So, it's really hard to kind of figure out what is actually valuable here and what isn't. Kind of like the markets before. This is not just like a void lore kind of store. It just has antiques and whatnot in it as well. But there is one thing in it that you know very, very well. It's actually, you decide to take your eyes a little bit off the shelves and look somewhat in closer to the register, and you see a syringe filled with void fiend. Not quite hidden.
Is that where everyone's looking right now?
There are a lot of people around that area, yes.
Are they all focused on the thing?
They're all generally speaking, they're all looking at the velvet case.
Enough that if I were like behind them, could like rest my hand on the counter.
Yeah, make a move quietly check if you are going to do that. Because none of them are specifically keeping an eye out on you, I'm not gonna allow any of you to make a study check, but we'll grant if he botches this completely, then
2 successes.
okay, yeah, it's
Oh
gone.
no,
There you
we're
go.
a mess. He's got
You just stole drugs in the
Stop
presence
lying.
of 2 law enforcement officials.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Ren's like super quick on the draw, but not so quick to notice someone stealing drugs right behind her.
There you go. Also, she may or may not have a problem with it.
So is that a full syringe of morphine?
It is full. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with mine I got a 2 and a 10, so 2 successes.
Okay. So you're kind of more focused on the shelves themselves, and you've kind of a little bit like Heisel. You're somewhat experienced when it comes to identifying bone charms and whatnot. You've seen bone charms before, and you can hear their distinct song and whatnot. There is one thing that seems very odd. Almost every object in here has a degree of very, very quiet song. But then you find one thing that has no song. Nothing. It's a small, like, basically... I'm trying to think of how... Do you have your Chonk D20?
Alright, so Chonk D20.
Yeah. It is a small wooden carving of an owl. But it's just no song whatsoever from that.
Pick it up and examine it. Nice little wooden owl, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
When you touch it, it says melt
It says what? Oh, built to help.
I hope not.
No, when you touch it, it says, ooh.
Interesting. Can I steady check it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Void Lord?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Steady, cleverly. Okay. Alright, a critical success.
Okay. There's something very strange about this thing. About one thing emanating silence in a building full of a symphony, basically. You don't know what's going on with this thing, but it was made by somebody important, and it probably does something important.
Is there a price tag?
Yeah, there's a price tag. And it says 1 note.
Might as well pay for it.
Might as well.
Might as well pay for it.
There you go.
That's not even worth stealing.
1 note for a dead shopkeeper. Or kidnapped or whatever.
The first thing I bought. 1 note, please.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you got the thing for free. Yes.
I think you should go back to your home. Expect us in the morning, alright?
Okay. Please be safe.
I've got Mr. Barrett here. We'll be fine.
I certainly hope you do your job, Mr. Barrett.
I will.
Well, I hope to be drinking with you tomorrow morning.
We'll be
Tea.
there, alright?
Okay.
Good night, Vika.
All right. Stay safe. And he is going to duck out.
The rest of you. We probably better make a bit of a plan.
Yes.
Let's go to the docks and take a look.
What exactly is it that we're supposed to be doing?
We're sneaking in. We're looking for evidence, and if we can find what is in that box, we're gonna take it.
To be honest, should we all go in, or?
Well, I will let you all know that you do have my support in that. I mean, that's my job, is to find those things. I had no idea there was one here, right under my nose.
I think I would be better at talking my way out of the situation than I would be at sneaking around. Take that as you will. Who among you are actually good at remaining unseen? Sebastian, I know you've got skills in the area.
I'm quite skilled in that regards.
I might be about as good as talking my way out of a situation as I would be walking around quietly.
Ren,
Hmm.
what exactly is it you're skilled in?
Sneaking, shooting,
Obviously.
spying. And telling when people are lying. And history. But that's kind of just a...
Not sure
Amateur
what you're using it
pursuit.
tonight, but
Yeah.
still interesting.
Yeah. It's more of a hobby.
Let's go take a look at the ship, alright? We'll make some decisions from there.
I would
What's the
suggest...
Marshal doing?
I'll get to him in a second. Ren is going to say, I would suggest every good plan begins with reconnaissance.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Smart. Well, if you all are doing that, I'll... Oh, they know my face.
You know what you could do? If you could get some of your folks to come over and make a bit of a hustle for Posterigan
Mm-hmm.
while we're sneaking in.
Mm-hmm.
A little less intention up in the back would be good.
Well, here's the thing. I've actually tried this before. I've tried to search that ship before. The moment they see my face, they will hide everything that is in there.
So send a couple of your low-level operatives.
Uh,
And,
Do you think that you could? You mentioned that he's a bit paying off your
Mhm.
men.
that
Do you
is
think
right.
there's a way that perhaps you could push patrols a little bit away from it in case we're trying to get in and they spot us?
Unfortunately, the charter marshals are a separate office from the patrol. I am not the superior. I have no sway over them.
is there anything you could do as a bit of a diversion?
Give me time. I can do something.
We'll aim to pull this off around 3 hours of the sundown.
All right.
If you want to help in any way, if you can think of anything.
Well,
Do it
I
then.
can say I know some of what Durrigan's vices are, I suppose. Weaknesses, perhaps.
Like what?
Well, he's an amateur cultist, I suppose. He views such subjects as... I know he collects bone charms and tries to buy things to enhance his luck, and if any void-related thing would be... that would promise to help him, he would certainly be interested in. He also sleeps around, and I do believe his ship departs, I think every other day. I don't know exactly where it goes, but it leaves in the morning.
I wonder if, instead of the sort of diversion I was asking about, if Anton and I should maybe just pay him a visit.
That might work a little better.
Maybe I pay
That way he's-
maybe me and
Barrett and Ren.
Lee.
His hackles might not get as raised if we're over there,
I don't
creating a
suppose
little
you'd
bit
have.
different of a distraction.
I don't suppose you'd have any extra void fiend or anything to offer them as kind of a diversion.
Well, you know the sorts of services I offer, Mr. Barrett.
Yes.
I could
Oh
offer
yes, he is
some.
addicted to that stuff.
Excellent. All right. In
You
that
still
case,
have your gun.
I have my gun.
Very well.
I have my knife. I have my words. I'll be fine, Barrett.
Very well.
Don't forget to look out for any extra evidence. Obviously, having the one or maybe two men freed would be plenty, but be on the lookout for any documents or things that may be able to indict him.
Very well.
The patrol cannot be silent when something like that emerges.
And Mr. Blackburn, you wouldn't happen to be familiar with the use of any weapons other than that little piece of metal you carry around?
That's not really a weapon.
I know.
Well, I suppose you could say then I'm not really adept with any weapon.
We won't need a weapon. We're going there to pay a social visit, nothing else.
Would you happen to have a walking stick that he could use, borrow, perhaps?
A walking stick?
A cane of some sort.
I look around the shop. Is there a cane?
That looks really-
Yes.
Any improvised weapon stuff.
Yeah. That is not even something I'll make you make a
Magic
check
shop
for.
And the owner is gone. We have to steal everything.
I'll grab it. I'll
Or
kind
buy.
of turn it in my hands for a minute. And then I'll toss it over to
Yeah.
Anton.
That's a weird looking one with a skull for a head for some reason.
I
But it
think
looks
you're-
kind of, it looks more like very cheaply made, but not necessarily in the fact that it's, it'll break or anything like that. But like, some of these things are very well made and crafted. And this is just kind of like, kind of a gimmicky cane. Like, oh, look, I have, it may or may not be part of a costume.
Good enough for you?
I suppose so. What am I supposed to do with this, though?
Well, have fun on Fugue Feast.
Plunk.
I think
We like
Mr. Bear
to
just wants
add
you
around
to...
that. Like, why would
Carry
you
that,
bring us
walk
all?
with it, and if
I'll
the need
see about
arises,
that.
if the
Pretend
need
you have a
arises,
limp. Maybe
I
not.
don't have a
It's
limb.
You
just,
don't have a limb. You-
Anton, it's just an affectation. You don't even need to have a limb.
Already-
Also,
Okay.
take up inventing and like have a tragic backstory and
Good.
You
I
can
can-
do that.
we want a meal back.
We're just trying to push it off now.
Also, change your name to a meal. Thanks. No.
We could use an alias. Or Cipher. Cipher.
The rest of you, you are going to be going back. We should probably go find your way in. Come on.
I will get you that revolver.
Alright.
I'm gonna skip him actually getting you that. You will end up with a small transitional revolver. So it has 3 bullets in it, but it's compact, so you'd be able to hide it. If you were even going into a place that had a search. It's not like a Derringer that it's extremely small, but if you were very good at hiding things, you could sneak it into a place that even had a search. But right now, it's plenty compact. It's not a big rifle on your shoulder, so.
Alright, as we go and look at it.
Yes. Okay, so you're actually going back to where you were. Your old airship that you guys were on, the Tegex Caravan, is gone now. Bye-bye. But you all do see a small vessel about the same size as the caravan itself. Labeled on the side, Mabe's Shoe. And looks a little bit more decadent, less like the freighter that you guys were just on, more like a personal vessel. You see it has a couple ports for guns, but it doesn't look like there's anything sticking out of them. Looks more like a repurposed military vessel. But it is at dock. You can see a couple guards standing at the ramp. There is I guess the word is truss, hanging above the ship for mooring. Truss is probably the wrong word. It's like you know when you see those big cranes working on like skyscrapers and stuff? What do you call that? Like the crane goes up and then that extended thing, and then you have the actual, the arm of it. That's like it's like this steel lattice kind of thing.
Potential way in.
Yeah, it would take a little bit of climbing, but you could possibly get up there. I see your face, Levi. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of like the.
I'm picturing it and I can't think of the name. Because, like, a truss is similar, but it's something that holds something up.
Yeah, it's not holding
It's-
anything
and
up,
it's
right?
Like typically, I guess not always, but typically flat.
Yeah.
So that's just like a lighter way. So it's like got a different purpose. And I don't remember what it's called. Or
Right.
I've even heard it.
I don't know the structural name, but this thing it's an airship more. It's something to attach so that this thing doesn't float away in a tragic void ride accident or anything like that. You know, you need something other than a ramp, but it just hang above the ship itself. So you'd probably be able to access that. There may or may not be dock workers around that area at the bottom of it, so you would probably have to sneak to get onto that. But that seems to be a better way. The dock itself is It's actually hanging above the water. Again, hanging above it, so they don't ever actually just turn the void right off and just collapse to the ground. They're floating at all times. At all times. So, yes, it is hanging above the water, but it doesn't seem like you all could swim to get up to it. It's many, many feet above the water. But it seems like there's just two entrances in. Top way and the bottom way. The area around it, there are other airships, so it's not exactly the most isolated thing. But, yeah, that's about what you'd see from a cursory reconnaissance kind of thing. Is there anything in particular that you all would be looking for?
Security look like around the place.
Yeah. So you can see a couple guards walking rounds on the deck of the airship itself. And you can also see what looks to be standing right at the, I guess the tip of the aft, would be an individual with several bodyguards around him. That's probably Darrigan. Kind of plain sight, but I mean, looks like he's just observing on the deck right now. You can see a cigar, so taking a smoke break, I guess. So it looks to be, because of the size of the airship compared to the one that you all were just on, you could probably assume that if you wanted tight quarters, you could probably fit 30, but that's very cramped. So at most, there's probably 20 people on board this vessel, counting the boss.
I'd like to move a little closer at this, actually, in a different way. I'd like to spend 2 chaos to use my Void Whisper's ability to learn an extra detail about a situation or character. I want to know if there is any...
This is like the first time an ability has been used.
I know, I mean, that's why I'm using it.
There you go.
I want to try that.
2 chaos.
How much chaos do you have left over from the
incident.
I am merciful. You all have a clean slate.
All right.
I want to know something else about the setup on the ship that will be helpful for the Sneaking King.
Okay. Kind of contrary to what the Marshal told you, something looks a little off on this ship. You can actually see a couple people moving on and off the ship. At the first glance, it might look like they're just guards doing rounds. You would see they're actually carrying things on platters. Looks like they are serving some sort of meal on this ship. And you can also see some workers, even on the mooring as well, working on that. You would know it's going to leave tonight. It's going to do a special trip. You're not quite sure why, but might be a party? Might just be a fancy meal alone where Darrigan just wants to get away from Sunline.
I know I said I wanted a party.
Something tells you with the fact that the max occupancy of this would be 30 people, it's not going to be like a grand ball. It's just a fancy meal on board a ship. He's back!
You know,
On the platters.
Oh no.
Anton, I wonder if we could get ourselves an invitation to that
I mean,
celebration.
I don't know how famous I'd be, but you might be famous enough.
Okay, I'm sorry. I am going to tell you, it's not a party.
Well, I mean, like, even if it's just him doing his whole thing with his trip or whatever, like...
Yeah.
Fun little sightseeing trip.
It's not a party. It's an intimate get-together.
Offer your services.
That's what I'm thinking. And if he decides that would be best accomplished during his voyage, that's fine.
That is a worthwhile plan. If it doesn't work, we can always try again later.
Sure.
But we may as well try that.
I don't know exactly when it's going to leave. We might want to do this sooner than we planned.
If it leaves tonight, then we may lose any evidence, and if there are captives being held aboard, then, or the artifacts that Miss Cohen is looking for, then,
Now it's in our hands.
yes.
So we're going tonight. Probably sooner than expected, actually. Why don't the three of you see if you can't score some of those, servants' outfits? Are there any, like, specific, like...
The servants are actually, they're more like caterers than servants. They are dropping off food and then leaving.
So they're not dressed
No,
particular way.
they just look like regular people, just dropping off some food.
They have a very least too easy way in, so you need to be watched.
Sad. Oh. I got some food. He pulls out this champagne bottle. I found this somewhere.
This sounds like a
I
great
took
time
this
to
from.
question that.
Okay, but we have it. Don't worry about
Lee's glaring at.
it.
This really
Leading
seems like a
questions
great
is
time not to
helpful,
question
right?
that.
We'll deal with this later.
I feel like I just stored us one in.
Rest assured, I will let.
Also, we have the wine at our place. We could just go there.
I will let Kenrick know that you robbed him. Another point. For now,
I will say,
Mr. Kenrick isn't very fun with his nicknames anymore.
it's true. You would know. Kenrick
Yes.
doesn't drink anything.
Yeah.
that's
Except water.
At all.
What's
besides
gonna go
the
bad?
point.
The acid melted.
Is that how champagne works?
Let's worry about this
Go
afterwards.
find yourself something to put on, alright?
I'm just going as I am. I'm already dressed, like the marshal said, as one of his
Guards.
would
Yeah.
dress.
You can come with me. Oh. Sad.
To be fair, Sav is not dressed like anyone fit to deliver anything on that ship. I wouldn't trust it.
Sebastian and Ren. The three of you should go find a way to blend in a little more if you get married.
Hmm.
Can we follow one of
I have something for
the
that.
people that are leaving the
You
boat?
have two somethings for that?
I have a feeling I'm not your size.
Is there anyone getting
No,
off the
to
boat
be
that
honest,
is about
how?
his size?
Yeah. Yeah. Is
Good
that
question.
Up or down?
Make a quick study check.
How tall is Ren?
I'm gonna study.
Ren is. I have this down. Some actually I don't.
Right, that's
She
one
is.
success.
I did think about
No,
this.
wait, no.
She's probably 5'6", I think.
Success.
How tall is Sebastian?
I feel like not. Wait, 5'6".
I thought I heard you say none.
No.
How tall are you? None. None inches.
I'm infinity wide and long, but zero tall.
Not too sure. I'm not too great with heights.
Well, you was
Probably
completely
not.
determined.
Would you roll on that
Maybe
check?
a little bit more than normal.
Both of them?
Both. No kind of stress.
Okay. There you go.
So
Yeah, it
maybe
doesn't
around
really hard to tell.
that size.
So
Yeah,
probably not.
Ren's kind of
You could just take a guess and just
slightly more.
get a uniform off of somebody, and there's a chance it might work.
How
But
big
you
is
just
Dab?
Probably.
Bigger
the
than
average. Yeah.
I think we were like a little bit maybe under average. Pretty slim.
Okay.
Clothes aren't too big will work. Sad, come with me. We're gonna follow these men, and we won't kill him. We
Just
won't
don't do
kill him.
anything that's gonna attract attention to us, right?
No. We'll go choke him out and tie him up.
Yeah, I'm fine with this. Says Ren.
Right. We're the people that are leaving. The caterers leaving after.
Yeah. So there's probably like 4 of them, but they're taking trips in between what looks like a carriage with or horse-drawn carriage with some food on it, making trips in between it. Problem is the carriage is fairly close to the ship itself. It's not like right next to the ramp, but it is an open view. It's not like in an alleyway or anything like that.
This probably isn't a good idea. If there's just 4 of them, they probably all know each other, and this probably isn't a good plan.
They took off all. No.
Well, Sebastian, you're
Well,
acrobatic.
I don't think disguising yourself as a caterer would be a good idea anyways. They're leaving the ship. They're going on. If we wanted to disguise as someone, we could just go as guards. That might
We
be
could choke out
insulting.
one guard.
Are there any guards there?
Yeah, there are 2 right by the ramp. There are a couple near the mooring area. It seems they're on a smoke break or something like that. Just talking about something, and they're kind of far away. So, two there. But the ramp itself is in clear view of the people on the airship, including Darrigan himself. So, if you are gonna take someone out, probably be those two on the smoke break.
Okay.
Let's go.
Are you good at this?
Yeah, I'm stealthy.
I mean, like,
I'm a decent fighter.
okay.
So, you got three of us, two of them. Are you all... I'm not the best at hand-to-hand combat, but are you all fairly good at that?
Yeah.
I'm alright.
Okay. Alright. I would prefer to choke these people out. Try not to strangle them all the way. Do you want me to be something of a distraction?
You could potentially
Alright.
approach them from front and ask them some questions.
Sounds good. Alright. I'll approach when you guys get fairly close. I'll hang here for now. So you all, if you're going to do that, make a move quietly check.
This plan is concerning so
Stealth
interesting.
is added to that as well, right?
Yes, definitely stealth.
Acrobatics or-
2 success.
Are you sticking to the heights? Or are you just like slinking around kind of slowly? Okay, yeah, then no acrobatics, sorry. What did you roll?
2 success.
Okay,
Ah,
nice. Okay, you seem to sneak around, and it does not appear that they notice you. You can just hear them talking idly. One of them asks, "Should we gather for whiskey and cigars?" And the other replies, "Indeed, I believe so." And then at about this time, Ren would appear in front of them and just ask, "Excuse me, can you all tell me where the heights are? Is it just like high, or is it like high in wealth or something like that?" And they're like, "It's easy. It's literally right up there." So you all have an opportunity now. Are you going to take it?
Yes.
I take the guy on the right.
Alright, I take one.
Okay, make a fight check. Add any styles if you've got any focuses you'd like to apply. Please let me know. Difficulty is going to be 2.
Okay, I'm gonna,
So you can reroll.
Yeah. Oh.
so I'm gonna fight quietly
Unless
using
you're really bad
stealth.
at that.
Okay.
I'm like 4 on that, but the other thing is maybe
That'd be worth it if you do a reroll with a die.
yeah, I'll do that. And
Use
then
a
brawling.
point if I
So I'll
have
be
to.
using brawling with it, and then fight.
Mm-hmm.
I can use a void point to re-roll. That's 14. Right?
Or make a success, a critical success.
Okay, that's 2 successes.
That's 1 success. I'm gonna re-roll.
Wait. You can just turn that into a critical success if you want.
I could actually.
Yeah, that just eliminates the chance.
Yeah.
All right. As Ren is doing this, you all come up behind him and just choke him out. You get him there. They're asleep.
That concerns me.
Alright.
Yep. Some strange parents,
All right.
I guess. I don't know. His upbringing sounds like it wasn't normal.
Alright. We tie them up. Well, we strip them
Oh,
and
we
switch
take
clothes.
the
All right.
clothes that we would use.
There is what looks like kind of a workman's area for people on the mooring that has some lockers in it if you do want to hide them someplace. They are currently naked.
show
So-
them hide them and shove their naked bodies
Alright,
in a
we're
locker.
gonna tie them up first.
Good
And
guys.
Okay.
do we,
They do have underwear. You're not stripping them of their underwear.
We don't need to be
do
doing
we
that.
have rope or anything?
That's fair.
Does anybody
Yeah, do any of you have rope?
Yes. I had a bunch of rope.
Did you keep that from the boat?
I don't know.
That was kind of on loan to you, but
I don't know if I did or not.
I mean, if you
I
did
will
know
take
it's
my
you
knife
complain about
and I
it
will
now.
take the clothes of the man that we didn't strip for
Mhm.
other stuff, and I will cut his clothes.
wait.
into rope.
I need something.
All right.
No, that is Ren. Mhm.
What do you need?
I mean, I could go back to my house and get something, but this is just much quicker.
You don't need all of his clothes. His coat would do, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's good enough.
All right. So I'll take the rest of his clothes and I will cut them into ropes and gags.
Smart.
I will remember to.
These
Nice.
poor guys. They're can wake up.
I literally just rolled for sizes on dice, and both of you, they're perfect fits for both Ren and Sab. You guys are very lucky.
This guy needs to be a lot more. Wow.
Alright.
Ren would pull out of, she'd have a pack with her, and she'd pull out this peaked cap, or no, flat cap, sorry, that she'd done.
Yeah,
Alright.
with the clothes that we have, what do you think we should do with these? I'm like transferring.
First off, do you display your enforcer badge?
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
What did you ask?
Where are we gonna put this stuff? It's like our old clothes and
I
Another
have this
locker.
bag right here. I could just store them here for now.
stuff. I remove probably all this stuff.
Also, do we have
Probably,
time?
yeah, probably sturdy sword.
Okay.
Did we have time to do something with my rifle? Leave my rifle somewhere.
Oh,
Or could I have just given it to the marshal?
yeah. We'll say that the marshal has it for now. Yep.
Alright.
All right, you guys are good to go. So, who's going first?
We are going first.
Okay.
So Anton and I will approach the ship by the front entrance.
Mm-hmm. So, the guards actually don't really stop you. Not like, hey, stop, you can't go here. One of them just says, you got a meeting with Boss Derrigan?
Nothing planned, but I think he'd be interested in seeing us.
Could I have a name, please?
Tell him it's the Lady Ogre has a code.
How do you spell that? You don't have to spell the entire
I'll
thing,
start
but...
spelling it.
Alright, I'll let him know,
I'd like to see
and...
him about some questions I have about his interest in the void.
Okay, alright. And you see him just head up to the ship itself. And there's gonna be a little bit of time, probably 5 minutes, before he returns. We'll just say that that's when you all are go ahead and are seizing your uniforms. He comes back and just says, welcome aboard.
Appreciate it. Where should I go to find Buster again?
He's on the deck right now. Who are you? Are you the Lady Urger, co-woman?
This is
Not a woman.
this is my associate, Mr. Blackburn.
Alright, good enough for me. Make a quick talk check. He already agreed,
Persuade?
but... Yeah, persuade.
Cool. 2 successes.
Alright, you're good. Alright, and you all walk up on the ramp on the second airship of the day. How fancy.
This is a day to be alive.
Mm-hmm. I can't even get on one airship per day.
We're like, Mikhail, you need to go home. The adults are going to the airships.
I would
It's like,
worry
that's
too
the one
much.
thing I wanted.
I would worry too much to let him go into a hostile situation. He's too precious.
That's fair.
Mhm.
He needs to finish his thing.
He needs to finish his cereal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What will happen to our heroes?
This is like random, but Sab probably has to be the head guy. It's a really weird question. It's like, do you know where, like, originally this guy was from?
Who's the head guy? The guard?
No, so he's talking to the...
Oh, the marshal?
The marshal.
Yeah, we can
Like,
retcon a combo
basically
in.
said, like, where's this mini crime lord from originally?
I believe he is Morlian, but he's not quite. He's definitely not affiliated with their government.
Go find Boss Derek and hopefully as these guys are sneaking aboard.
Okay.
So, wait, you want to go first? You want military? I'll just kind of mimic you.
Okay. So Lee confidently marches over towards the boat, or the airship,
Mm-hmm.
and just confidently tries to march aboard.
Make a I don't like this, but it's going to be a talk check immediately, mainly because acting is included with it. Whenever it goes to, if you're, you know what? No. Move boldly. This is a move check. Yeah.
Right. And would stealth apply to this in some way, or would not really?
No, you
Alright.
can't stealth boldly.
Alright. Stealth. Yeah. Okay.
Well, hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, apply it.
All right. That is 1 success and 1 critical success.
You're a very generous DM.
I know, I am. Yeah. Gotta be honest. This is kind of your first major action that isn't the first ship thing. This is your first heist or infiltration. So I am being a little gracious on this one, just because it's the first time you guys are doing something in his party. Also, he is very much so a minor crime lord. He's not He's not that smart.
It's not a big deal.
A lot of money, a lot of smarts.
Get one or the other, you know?
Yeah. All right. The three of you all walk past without any question, despite the fact that only 2 people went off on break, but now there's a third one. I'm sure that Darrigan just likes to hire new people at all times, but evidently these other guys, these guards on the ramp, are just not concerned with what's going on. I will say that you all also get, with the guards' weapons, both of them had just regular old pistols, so if you want to carry pistols openly, you can do that. You still have your transitional revolver.
Yeah.
3 bullets, so that is going to be...
I don't have any extra bullets on me.
Yeah, you probably have... I will say you have around 18 pistol rounds for this particular excursion. I need to consult one of the rules that I made on things.
Yo. That would mean that I kind of already won.
Exactly.
Give me a second. Okay, you get 2 attacks per turn with the transitional revolver.
Alright.
So you can shoot twice if you want to.
Alright. I will let Sab and Ren carry the 2 guns that we got off the cards.
Okay.
And Sab, so the soldiers usually don't. Do they have swords or anything?
A couple of them have cudgels. Kind of small baton. You know what? No. One of them has a set of brass knuckles, though. Okay. Brass knuckles give you... They're actually quite OP. 2 points of stress damage with them. You can deal with them. So, regular just barefisted attacks are 1, brass knuckles, 2. It's just it's a perfect advancement. There's no cost to them whatsoever. So you get some brass knuckles, and they can be concealed as well. All right, you all get on the ship. So all 5 of you are on board this ship right now. You don't know how many guards are there, but you evidently have done this pretty well. Unfortunately, because this infiltration is going to be probably an eventful thing, this is where we will end tonight, sadly. We probably have around 15 minutes more time in the building before we need to pack up, but I don't really want to start this whole event until next week. I don't think you all could pull it off in 15 minutes, basically.
Let's go speed run.
I mean, you could try it, but
Not as fun.
Yeah.
you get a lot more chaos dice than just these 2.
Yeah.
So, hope you all enjoyed tonight's session. It's good to see you all in Sunline pursuing some adventures, and hey, you got a pretty nice apartment, so there you go. Things are good for whatever the heck your group is. So,
Good question.
what's that?
That's a good question. I don't think we're sure what our group is.
Accurate.
Yeah.
All right, we will see you all next week, hopefully. We'll see.